Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, 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 every day I'm hustling.
When you in the trenches, it's cool to shoot them bullets. How you gonna defend yourself when them bullets coming back?
Davis thought Santa Cruz was gonna fold from his the popular and acclaimed defending WBA lightweight champion of the world.
If it was the streets, these niggas would been smoked. Pack all the whole group up, pack them up and get them the fuck out of boxing.
Haney, Cambosis, one of those folks, maybe Garcia.
All them guys is easy work. They easy work, man. I'm the top dog.
The hard-hitting young star of boxing, 3-division world champion.
Skill for skill. I'm much more skillful than Canelo. I stand on that. I'm much more skillful.
You and Cambosis, what happens, Tank?
I'm whooping that ass. Tell him come see. Tell him hold the belts. I whoop his ass for free.
The defending world champion from Baltimore, Maryland.
We from the city. You know what's happening, what's in the city.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
Gervonta Tank Davis.
SDS Promotions.
I remember walking in Mayweather gym, he sitting on the couch. I told him he a bum ass fighter. He ain't say nothing, not one word. He got a furrow on his 80 degrees on him.
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
What up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I do apologize for the lack of our yesterday evening show, but as you can hear, somehow I got ridiculously sick, man. I don't know. Still stuffed up, feeling like dog shit, but hey, man, we here to talk Manny Pacquiao and his return, mysteriously popping up in the number 5 rating slot for the WBC and making the rumors with Mario Barrios more real. Looks like that fight is now official. Everyone reporting, and allegedly Manny Pacquiao is back. So that's what we're going to be talking about. How do you guys feel about the Pac-Man being back? Is it worth our time? Is it worth Mario Barrios' time? Should he be entertaining this fight? It is a legacy fight, so to speak, even though the legacy of Pacquiao may be a little bit past his prime. It is a legend. And if Mario doesn't fight Pacquiao, I can see Pacquiao fighting someone else. So it's like, do you not fight the legend because, you're trying to be, I guess, high and mighty and have some sort of morals, and you don't want your contemporaries to be like, oh, you fighting that old man? Or do you fight that old man whose name still ring bells like Sunday at 12 o'clock, man, who the casuals know, they relate to? For Barrios, I can't even lie, bro. It's a great move. Now, I know Tree's going to be like, oh, you see. No, I don't see. And I'm only accepting what we're being fed, and since this is what's on the menu, I'm critiquing it to a certain standpoint, right? Because I also want to give Pacquiao the ability to create history. I don't want to be the hater that's like, oh, this guy's 46, 44. He needs to pack it up, because what if he can really do it at 46, 44? What if he cracks the history books open and does better than Foreman, does better than B-Hop, and is able to win that world title at 44, 46 years old? We're going to find out that exact age, but yeah, that's kind of why I'm not shitting on this. Normally I would.
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
Normally I would. But again, It's the only sport I watch, and we have to allow guys to break these records. And it's not going to be your common man that comes back at 40-something and wins a world title. It's going to be a name like a B-Hop, like a, George Foreman or Manny Pacquiao. It takes names in order to put themselves in those positions to even get a world title when they're, so out of touch, so inactive. It takes a name to get you that opportunity, and that's why Pacquiao is here. For Barrios, again, still the biggest fight of his career. Still the biggest fight of his career. He lost to Thurman. If he somehow beats Pacquiao, then maybe there's an argument for a Thurman rematch in the future. And again, it's just legacy for Barrios. It would be the biggest name on his resume, regardless of what you think, regardless if you think Pacquiao was past his prime. For Barrios, it would be the best name on his resume. And it's going to bring in some attention. People probably older than me, right? I feel like I'm a young 40, but people older than me are going to get that nostalgia, that Pac-Man nostalgia. They're going to want to see him. They're going to come out. The Filipinos are certainly going to come out. I think this fight can do well in terms of numbers and attendance. But, can Barrios hurt Pacquiao at 44 or 46? Are they going to protect Pacquiao the way they protected Mike Tyson, who was obviously many, many more years older, but there seemed to be a protection plan going on. They're saying it sounds far on X. Maybe I didn't connect it. Uh-oh. All right, that should be rocking and rolling, hopefully. But yeah, man, this is what we're talking about. Not too much to talk about this situation. We have to make it what it's going to be. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao has put out fillers. The Ring Magazine is reporting. Just about everyone is reporting that this fight is going to happen. Now, where is it going to take place? I'll try and see if there's any information as of now. But Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios fight is official according to multiple sources, including ESPN, the Ring Magazine. Pacquiao is going to be ending his nearly 4-year retirement to face the younger, taller, 6 foot. And anybody that's been to my appreciation knows that Barrios is probably 6'2". So this is not going to be an easy fight for Manny Pacquiao. But he's going to be stepping in the ring on July 19th in Las Vegas, headlining a PBC on Prime pay-per-view. So, yeah, we're going to have to pay pay-per-view for this. It's going to be pay-per-view for a 44, 46. Let me see. He is... My AI assistant's taking longer than usual. Maybe I should have just used Google. Lord. Okay. Manny Pacquiao was born in 1978, making him 46 years old. And Mario Barrios, damn, he's a youngin'. He was born May 18th. Shout out to my Taurus. Right? He's a Taurus. He's 1 day short. May 18th. 1995, making him 29 years old. He turns 30 in 5 days. So 30 and 46, that's 16-year difference. Wow. That's a big, big age gap. But this is what guys like Treese wanted. This is what they wanted. And for Barrios, I mean, again, what are you going to do? Say no to a legend like Earl? See that? You see that was a mistake. Can Pacquiao get the win? In the case of Manny Pacquiao, obviously he has the experience and the pedigree, but he is 46 years old. He's still an 8-division world champion. His record, while impressive, also indicates mileage. 62 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by KO. Is his speed still going to be there at 46? Is his footwork still going to be there at 46? Will there be drug testing? Because if not, then maybe the combination punching that historically has always been there to overwhelm the top tier opponents, maybe that's still there. I don't know. At 46, can he throw? Can he still be, can he still be the Manny Pacquiao that we fell in love with? Obviously, he was able to overwhelm guys like Oscar De La Hoya, Ricky Hatton, and Miguel Cotto, but that was a different version of Manny Pacquiao. Not a 46-year-old version where the bones hurt. Not a 46-year-old version that we don't even know, has he been active? And by active, I don't mean a fight. I mean, like, is he in the gym? Is he at least sparring? Is he at least running? But this current version of Pacquiao has not fought professionally since 2021. Lord of mercy. That's a long time, man. That's a long time. He did do a 6-round exhibition, I believe, right? Didn't he do a 6-round exhibition or an exhibition? But the advantage, obviously, is that Pacquiao is still a southpaw. He still has those, angles. I mean, we won't know the speed of those angles. We won't know, is he really going to be volume punching at 46? But he could exploit Mario Barrios' defensive flaws. Barrios still is a big dude, punching. He usually puts down everybody. So maybe he can get the attention of Manny Pacquiao, but Barrios has also been on record being hurt in the past in fights like Keith Thurman, Fabian Maidana. So Pacquiao's experience, punching power, is that going to give him the edge even at 46? Isn't it sad when you're 40, like when you're 30 and people have to debate, can you win a fight with a 46-year-old? This is crazy. Shit, man. Barrios need to put this dude to sleep. I ain't gonna front. Because the fact that I think Mex is confusing me. I said Earl didn't fight the legend in Cotto. He said no to that. He didn't say no to Pacquiao because that was part of the PBC plan. The legend in Cotto was a Golden Boy offer that he decided not to take. And now he didn't get to fight either legend. And he's probably retired and will end his career not fighting any legend. Whereas if he would have just listened to my good friend Adrien Clark, he would have the scalp of Miguel Cotto on his resume like Saddam Ali. He would have been Saddam Ali. And that win would have done better for Earl than Saddam Ali. The popularity of Earl would have just been better. It would have drove that win, further home for the Dallas native. But we're not really talking about Earl. That's just the Earl fans, making sure I'm not kicking dirt on a boy's name, which I'm not. Just simply saying he didn't fight a legend, and Barrios should not listen to us who are going to say, oh, this guy is old, why you fighting this dude, yada, yada, yada. Bro, just go ahead and fight that legend. It's not a lot of guys that get these opportunities. You might as well take it. Okay, my bad, fellas. I just realized that Discord didn't have the audio. That's crazy. But yeah, man, this is what we're talking about. Manny Pacquiao shocks the world, comes in at number 5 in the WBC rankings. I wonder, there's a lot of people that's like, oh, how is this even possible? But I wonder if this is just like the WBC giving him a shot because of his legacy, right? Like, for instance, would we get mad if Floyd came back and got ranked at number 5? No, right? We would just say, dude's great. And because he's always been great, they gave him a good ranking. And I think that's what's happening with Pacquiao. Obviously, he hasn't looked as great as Floyd, so, it's going to look more like favoritism for Pacquiao. But at the end of the day, people with the careers of Pacquiao deserve to get ranked if they want to come back. I don't know that it would be fair for a guy on the level of Pacquiao to have to start at the bottom of the rankings just because he's been out the ring 4 years. But that's certainly something we could talk about. That's certainly something that we should discuss and you guys should give your opinion on. Because, again, if you put it in, like if Bud beats Canelo and retires for 5 years and decides to come back because he wants to fight Jerome Boots Ennis, should he not get ranked? Even if he loses to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Just giving y'all food for thought there. Because obviously it's Pacquiao, it's Barrios, you might just shut them down. But if it was Bud, retires after the Canelo fight, and then decides to come back, is he not able to get ranked in the top? Should he start for the bottom? And I think that's what's happening, bro. Pacquiao, while I want to be consistent, he is legend. He's Will Smith. He is legend. Floyd is legend. Canelo will be legend. Like, I'm not expecting Juan Manuel Marquez to come back and be ranked at 100. I can't see that. I'm sorry. Al in the Bay, what do you say? You on TPV, where we talk that boxing every day. Al in the Bay, what up?
Yo, what's up?
Bay Area.
Man, it's 100% disrespectful. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. This is an outrage. People should be up in arms about this fight. This is so disrespectful. Barrios loses this fight. He should quit boxing. He should give it up. You let Manny Pacquiao, an old dude, who stopped boxing, and then you're his first fight back. You are disrespectful as a champ. You don't even. I'm so upset about that fight. There's a couple of reasons. One, there's people that's been putting in work to get that title shot. There's champions in line who want that title shot. You gonna let, I don't care about legacy. You fought 15 years ago. It doesn't matter. It's straight disrespect. You don't allow somebody to come in your house who haven't put in the work in years to come and take what you got. You feel me? Yeah, man, I don't like it. I probably wouldn't watch it. Most likely I'm not gonna watch it. It's not gonna be wasting my time. Barrios, I said it once and I said it twice. Yeah, man, it's, he's a joke. You feel me? He's a joke taking this fight. I know other people want to take that fight, but they would have been a joke too. I don't care who. And if Mayweather wanted to come back and wanted a title shot, and his first fight was going to be a title shot, I would think that would be a joke. I wouldn't take it serious. I would say, man, you're playing. But at least Mayweather been doing expedition fights. So he's been grinding. You feel me? Manny Pacquiao haven't been doing nothing. And if he lose and Barrios lose this fight, first, you lost to a guy who you brought up in weight, and then you lose to a guy who's been sitting on the sidelines for 2 years, probably more. And now if you lose to this guy who's old and has been sitting out, man, you should quit. You're a straight joke. You feel me? Um, and anybody who likes this fighting that's a shame on them because nobody, including the WBC, should want this fight. Period. Nobody should want this fight. You feel me? These fights should be banned. You should be wanting to have the fight to get your butt into the ranking and to get a title shot. You can't just come off the sideline and says, "Oh, I want a title shot." Yeah, I'm disgusted about that.
All right, champ. All right. Well, listen, definitely appreciate that. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, people's opinion, how you feel about this fight, and your honest opinion. That was raw, and we needed that. Listen, real quick, if you're watching this on X live streaming video, there's only about 79 of you. So that's hurting my feelings. So I need those 79 to go ahead and retweet, repost. We need those numbers. We got about another 500 live here on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. That's going to help with the visibility of the show. We're trying to activate that algorithm, put us in the eyes of boxing fans that don't know we're here. That's why we're also on X Spaces, right? We want to make sure that we find those new boxing fans that only hang out on X. So I need you to go ahead and retweet, repost. If you're listening on X Spaces or if you're watching on X live streaming video, formerly known as Twitter. I'm only going to get as big as my audience, man. Y'all got to help me grow. I'm trying to grow. Let me tell you. My subscriber conversion rate is horrible. I should be getting more subscribers per month. I don't know why I don't. It is what it is. But if you love the show, understand it's important to share it. Very important. Lil Zooted, $2, Africa in the house. 5 fire emojis. And he's our first super chat of the day. We got CLT Meach, member for 14 months on the prospect level. Barrios doing the everything but unifying with boots. Hey, man, let me tell you, Barrios has always been the biggest fight, and now if he fights and beats Pacquiao, he's the bigger fight, And I told y'all, I'm not going to let y'all forget, I told y'all that I was told Barrios would be the last piece. He'd be the last piece. He's going to wait. Just like Plant did, Barrios will. They already offered Barrios an offer to fight Norman. He turned it down. They said they was busy. And obviously they was. Look, the Pacquiao news broke. So Barrios will be the last piece. They're going to sell that belt to Boots and Eddie for top dollar. Adrien, $5. This is effing disgusting. Boycott this BS. No wonder boxing is in the hole it's in. UFC surpassed us years ago, and we're still going backwards. Cringe emoji twice, or is that holding back vomit? I don't fucking know. Too many emojis these days. Bones 13, $2. Will Barrios get the credit for beating Pac-Man? Thinking emoji. Not from like mean hardcores, but yeah, certain hardcores and most casuals would give him the credit, I believe. I got IVS $2. Money grab for pay-per-view money. Exploiting old inactive star. Shaking my head. We got Pistol Parkway, Mozzie, $5. I pull up in Expedition. They be like, oh, no. And he didn't. Al in the Bay. Yeah, Al always calls exhibitions expeditions. And that's probably the first time I was able to say it right. Because once you're thinking of expedition, it's hard to say exhibition, even though I did it twice. But it usually be hard. Rocky, what up? Member for 26 months on that champ level. You the man.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Jake Pacquiao next. Save him, Jake, please. Damn. I wouldn't want that. I mean, I know Pacquiao and Tank the same size, but Tank just seems stronger at this point. I feel like Jake will break Pacquiao. Mad Bet, $102. Daily dose of Tanquil, Manny back, Alex, and them protein shakes. Ha, Alex Ariza. Ace Cannons, $5. I just hope he coming back because he wants to, not because he needs to. Feel better, champ. Yeah, man, me too. I hope it's not like financial reasons that's dragging him back and more like love of the sport. I miss the sport. We got Huang out of Houston on a check-in.
Yo.
What up?
Man, you know what? I agree with half of what Out in the Bay say. I mean, I was about to say great call, but there was some things I didn't agree with. But for one, Ness, did I just hear you about 10 minutes ago say something about he better put him down?
I don't think I said that.
Yes, you did. Well, don't worry, we'll run back to you. Said Barrios better put him down. Barrios better. You said
I'm pretty sure I said Barrios always puts. You know, maybe he could hurt Pacquiao because he always puts people down.
Don't worry, the community heard you. But anyway, my ears perked up because I said that kind of sound like what I said yesterday when you scratched the record on me. But that's not what I want to get at. That I just had to address that real quick. But I will tell you this: this is nasty. This is disgusting. Number 5, didn't he just lose to some dude? Did he lose to the guy who got mollywopped by the guy who got mollywopped? And I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao. Did Manny Pacquiao lose to the guy who got mollywopped by the guy who got mollywopped next? And I'm talking about Ugas and Spence. So Pacquiao loses to Ugas. And what was that? Was that an eliminator or something when they fought? I don't know if you remember, because I don't.
It was for the title when Pacquiao lost to Ugas because Ugas became champ. That's what solidified him.
Oh, and then Spence got his belt back. That's right. That's right. Dang, so you get 2 title shots in a row? Come on, man. That's disgusting. You know what? I don't want to spit, but if I
Hey, yo! Shout out to Deontay Wilder. He said, and I quote, they used to call me Windmill Wilder, and I didn't have that windmill no more. I got that motherfucker now. Oh, let's see if he got his heart back. That's what I'm talking about.
It was always good to see the champ back feeling himself.
For
you know
real.
what I mean? But I'm just like, man, and you're gonna charge us for this? This should be a fucking prime. If you got prime, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what this should be. This should be a prime fight, man.
Nah,
you know, not you
gotta
gonna
pay
make
for them
me
legends.
pay for this?
You gotta pay for them legends, baby.
Ness.
Hey, man, I
mean,
tried
the
to tell
guy's older
Treese.
than me.
Treese talked this shit into existence, bro. It's Treese's fault.
Man, you know what? When I get done making salat later, and I salam out and I do my dua, I'm gonna be like, Allah, please don't listen to anything Toledo Tree say unless it's about an Ohio fighter. You know, I know you putting, these Ohio fighters on this, up and everything is good for Treese, and I applaud that. But Manny Pacquiao's not from Ohio, Allah. So Allah, please don't do that no more. I mean. You know what I'm saying? This is bullshit. And then you want me to pay for it? You better stack that card, Ness. I mean, stack it.
I mean, I
I
think
mean, it's just
I seen something. Somebody tagged me. I know y'all seen it. It's supposed to be stacked. Ain't Zoo supposed to be on the undercard or some shit? Zoo and
Zoo, who lost
Fundora.
twice in a row. So a two-time loser is gonna have a co-main of a two-time loser. Man, that's all I got, man.
Wait, what you mean?
Like and subscribe.
Nah, Tim Zoo won his last fight, bro.
Are you sure about that? Didn't he lose the Bakram?
Bro, he fought after that. He just fought.
Oh, you know why I don't remember that? Because nobody cares about him.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I'm throwing him away too.
That's
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just kind of talking shit right now. I like Zoo, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I forgot he did fight.
He
but,
fought in
like,
Australia. Remember Thurman went out there and fought and then he fought I think the following week or maybe the same day.
Yeah, because they had Zoo on the side while he was fighting that guy.
But let me get to some callers. That was the Bell champ.
Yeah,
You the man. Stock chases. Stock Chasers, you there? All right, he dropped off. If you're trying to call in, Discord available. X Spaces also available. We use both of those methods to call in. Obviously, you can communicate via live chat, the power chat. Salute King Born. Stay safe on the road. I'm just getting these links together so I can share them in the live chat, power chat. Javier, what up?
Yo. Yo, good morning, everybody. Good morning, TVV.
Morning.
Nah, B. Nah, man. I ain't feeling this one. Nah, I'm not jacking this one, B. Why you doing this to us, Pacquiao? Come on, man. You're a legend, bro. You already proved everything you got to do in the game. You got, like, you're going in the Hall of Fame, bro. Like, I hope, like you said, bro, I hope it's for the passion. You know, I hope he's not coming back because he needs some money. Because if he is, though, shame on Mauricio Suleiman. I know he's done a lot for the game, but shame on him for even allowing this, bro. Like, shame on for whatever commission.
Walk it back. Think about what you said. You said, well, I hope it's like you said, and he's doing it for the passion and not the money. So if we consider he's doing it for the money, how could we shame Mauricio for giving his friend an opportunity to make money knowing that he's broke?
But okay, I understand, but like maybe it's if Mauricio knows, like, okay, he's in the Philippines, he's training, he's in the gym. We don't even know nothing. Like even the picture that they used on the Ring ESPN, that shit was he looked old, bro.
Let me look at it.
Old. I seen that. I was like, nah, bro. Like they could have used something different. Like I don't know. I even seen how the people are not feeling it. Like, is it even gonna sell? Like, and then you did say that, Ness. You said that's sad. It's not that it's a debate that you're 30 and that people are even debating that you're gonna win, that he gotta knock him out, or you trying to have the Filipinos out in the parking lot waiting for this man, Ness. Like you gonna have him waiting for the Aztec Warrior if he knocks out Pacquiao. He's gonna be the villain. He's gonna be the Jake Paul if he knocked out Mike Tyson. If he does this to Pacquiao,
He
bro.
needs that though. If he knocks out Pacquiao, you fuck around have Boots. I'm telling you, fuck around have Boots saying some shit like, "Oh, I want to get that back for Pacquiao." The way that the way that Tank said it about Jake, bro.
Damn, bro.
Barrios needs this right now. He's the biggest name in the welterweight division, but people don't think he can beat Boots. So you gain some Filipino fans or haters, and then go into that Boots fight.
Nah, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, you said it's like if it's not too much pay-per-view, they can't put too much, bro. If they're gonna put it like 40, or like you said, that's cool. That's cool. You know what I mean?
I
Pacquiao's
don't
a
know.
legend.
Yo. Don't even soup yourself up, B. You know PBC don't do discounts. Like, not at this level, right? Like, when they gave us a $30 pay-per-view, it was like Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin or some shit, right? Some crazy shit like that. January 1st, a couple years ago. And then we got another pay-per-view that was cheap with Andy Ruiz, maybe Areola. But other than that, we don't get cheap pay-per-views, bro, from them dudes. So if you thinking they gonna put a
nasty.
Mexican that's known and speaks English and Spanish, plus comes out with the Azteca outfit and Pacquiao for free, y'all tripping.
Yeah, and I mean they barely even gave us the shows this year too. So I mean I guess they gotta, you know what I mean, they gotta make their money. That's just nasty though, bro. But yeah, I'm not liking it. Uh, I'm looking forward to I want to see Brian Norman. I didn't get to make my pick yesterday, but yeah, I'm tuning for. I got Brian Norman. You know what I mean, fellow American, going over there, handle his thing in Japan, man. I'm getting my passport. I want to go over there, man. I heard you guys talking about it with Cardenas yesterday. I've been telling my girl like I want to go out there to Japan, so we've been looking in shit. So we're gonna look, Brian Norman, and then yeah, man, Wilder. I saw he built some like badass gym, bro. That shit was looking pretty sick. So I mean, hopefully, he gets some. Hopefully, that's like some newfound motivation. He like lives in that motherfucker or something, and you know. But Bronze Bomber, baby, let's go. Come back, man. I always like Wilder, man. I don't throw away these fighters when they take a loss. I like to see them come back. Everybody loves a good comeback story. But that's my call, Ness. I ain't jacking this fight. I'm gonna tune in though. I'm gonna go for Pacquiao though, But that's my call, bro. Let's go, TBV.
All right. I ain't been on Wilder's page in a minute. What the hell? What is this? A holiday gift from me to you. My push-up protocol in the mental app.
The Bronze Bomber,
Hey, yo, he got a part in his hair. Whoa.
This is Deontay Wilder. Global Comeback Collector. Legacy Reloaded, baby.
He said Legacy Reloaded, baby. I hope he could do it, man. All right, bro. He's good for the sport, too, man.
Who good for the sport?
Wilder, if he could pull it off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He could pull that comeback off. He good for the sport, bro. He be talking that shit.
Did somebody make an AI thing of him? Like getting beat on?
I don't know. What's a beat on?
His opponent, his opponent dropped like some AI video of him getting beat up or something. I don't know.
Oh, shit. For real? We supposed to have his opponent Thursday. But this gym, he ain't playing, boy. Look, logoed up. That's the uppercut bag. This the heavy bag, teardrop bag, all with his logo on it.
You know he ain't throwing no uppercuts.
Look at this shit. This man, that's a gym, bro. That's the ring.
Damn, that look like a damn pyramid.
Shit look like a fucking castle. What is this right here, though? That fucking look like Mac machines with Wilder's logo on it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
ATMs and shit. Shout out to that man.
Look like you can buy condoms out of there. They still sell those machines?
Yo, he is so, bro. My man he on his Ali shit. He said, he told me if I build my happiness would be fulfilled, my laughter would get louder. Now say my name, Deontay Wilder. Shout out to that man, bro. I hope he got it back. No bullshit.
We definitely don't need the. We
that's
definitely
the
don't need the
ropes.
bars. That's the
You said what?
ropes.
You said what?
I said we definitely don't need the bars. That's for one thing we don't need. We don't need no raps. None. We don't need no raps.
Can you come back if you this big on yourself? Like, look, you in the gym and look at this motherfucking mural of yourself. All the ropes. Look at the ropes. Look, it's a logo everywhere. Everywhere it says Wilder. Then the King of the Gods Army. What's the top say? What that say in the red? Deontay Wilder.
Is that a Jesus crown on his head?
Man, my man did a studio boxing gym. Look at this shit, bro. Even the roof. That's that spray foam. Then he painted it black. Lord of mercy. Not playing. Look, studio lighting. Fucking hell. Recess lighting. Look, old school light bulb over here. Look at all these wall sconces. Another logo. Look, another logo. That man got logos everywhere. Lord of mercy. You feeling this? I seen
Big
this
Wilder.
yesterday. You feeling this?
Those cars? Hell yeah.
But the rap, you like that rap?
Yeah, I like that rap. What car is that? A Bentley?
I don't know, bro. That door opened up backwards, I guess.
I know. Damn. They get money over there, man.
Word. Hopefully he back, like I said, man. Speaking of back, we talking Pacquiao. He is 46 years old. Barrios will be 30 years old in 5 days. 16-year age difference. But he's a legend. He's a legend. Do you not take the fight if you Barrios, or do you take this fight?
I take it. Name recognition. You was already on Netflix, so now you about to get a double name recognition. And you get to retire a legend, man.
You think he retires him?
Oh, he about to beat the brakes off Pacquiao. You see Pacquiao get beat up in Japan? They whooped that man pillar to post.
Damn. Yeah, but he wasn't training probably. You talking about that big dude, Ampo? The one that the hands?
Yeah, Ampo, the one that Ryan ducked.
Yeah, nah, bro. He was trying to take Pacquiao out.
He was cooking Pacquiao. Pacquiao's getting cooked in that fight. Like whooped on. Like something serious, man. Did anybody find out what Whippets is?
Yeah. Go to Brunch Boxing. It's like some aerosol cans type shit, man. That's why he called him a junkie. That's wild. They gonna build that fight up. If they fight, right? Like,
yeah, they got to fight now. Storyline. I'm telling you, storyline's a new wave right now.
Yeah, man.
Damn, they got different flavors of Whippets. Disgusting. That's disgusting. Damn. Shakur did say he used to drink early in his career. I remember one interview I heard him say that. Damn, niggas just out there just hitting them Whippets, Lord child. But yeah, man, we fire sticking that. No, I'm gonna be in Vegas, but still, we streaming Fire Stick Boys back outside. I'm gonna be in Vegas for that weekend.
That's July 19th.
Yeah, Bam on that day. Usyk Dubois on that day for Undisputed. You got to get O'Shaki on here.
Shot caught feelings because I forgot an interview one day.
Damn.
Yeah, nah, they be wild. I'm trying to tell you.
You tell them you be off the hard end?
Man, they should know.
Because I guess Shocky be off the hard end too, according to Shakur.
But according to Shock, Shakur be off it too. He passed him the blunt.
Yeah, I said, damn, Shakur hitting the blunt.
What you believe in?
I think Shakur hit it. Young dude. Smoke a little tree, a little reefer. Smoke a little tree.
A little reefer. Paper chaser. Little reefer. That's hilarious.
Yo, yo.
Yo.
What's the word?
Chilling.
What's up, Tone?
What up, B?
Hey, man, I was at Lupe's Tortillas, bro, and I seen that chili killers on the menu. I damn near ordered it for you, man. I damn near did.
Man, that's Chili Killers is incredible, bro. Incredible.
I ain't never had them, bro. I ain't want to, it was Mother's Day. I ain't want to experiment, and the shit wasn't good. So I had to pass on it.
I feel you on that.
Hey, but don't kid yourself, man. Y'all know Wilder. Come on now. I don't give a damn all that money he spent on that nice ass gym. I would say he should start training or something, but hell, he ain't got the skills to train no goddamn body. And yeah, he looking up to Muhammad Ali. You know the bars and shit like Tone said he can kill that. But yeah, don't kid yourself, man. I mean, I like his motivation, but come on, man. Y'all know he done. He had his run. I was fucking with him tough, but yeah, man. Tyson Fury took his soul, and big Chinese dude buried him. Who he supposed to be fighting? They ain't got no opponent for him.
Is it Curtis Harper?
That's who Wilder fighting?
Yeah. It's Curtis Harper right now.
Nah, he fighting Herndon or some shit like that.
Yeah, Wilder needs to hang it up, man. 'Cause I hate to see him keep getting done like that, man. Yeah, he done. Like, he had his run, he held it down for us, but yeah, he done. But I don't know. Say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but shit. Jaime Munguia looked good after that certain fighting style. You know, he switched his trainers and shit, so his defense was on point. But who training Wilder now? Y'all know? Malik?
Yeah.
Freaky Malik.
Have you had him for his past two fights, or?
Yeah, he has. Yep.
Oh, okay. So, same story, different day. But hey, man, that Pacquiao goddamn that's nasty work, bro. Come on, man. Pacquiao ain't got a chance in hell. Barrios about to mop the floor with his ass.
Yeah, he got no.
And I guess if he going through some financial problems, if they good friends, send that man some money, man. Pacquiao be giving all his money out over there in the Philippines and shit, but if we gonna fuck around and see his ass get face planted like Marquez did his ass. Yeah, like, and then they gave him that ranking. I mean, I guess, bro, but he don't deserve that shit at all. But he is a legend. Pacquiao did any goddamn exhibition fights?
Yeah, he fought Ampo. That was a real fight.
That last fight?
Nah. I mean, was that his last fight? I don't know, but it was a real fight. That was an exhibition, but it was a real fight.
I'm saying, like, he on some Floyd shit, or like it was a real fight?
Nah, Floyd, I don't think. I mean, look, don't get me to saying no shit, but
I mean, I ain't, you know,
that dude was tough, man. That dude was tough.
Yeah, Floyd.
It was the dude Ryan was supposed to fight that he pulled out. Remember Ryan pulled out because of Oscar?
Yeah.
It was that dude.
I ain't even catch that fight. Tony, you said Pacquiao got the hands put on him?
Man, he got cooked. YouTube it, bro. He got cooked.
I'm gonna have to check it out. So what the fuck? Well, like, I don't why he stepping in there with Barrios then, man. Like, I mean, I guess he want to challenge himself, but come on, man, you got to know when to hang it up.
Shit, they didn't PBC owe him a fight?
Yeah, probably that's what it is.
But say if he fucking win, which I don't think he gonna win. Say if he win, they fighting for a belt, huh? Barrios got a belt.
Hell yeah.
And then if he win, then what? Who he gonna fight?
Rolly, big bag, in-house squabble.
Come on, man. Y'all really think? I guess, bro. Ryan. I mean, Rolly. Come on, man. Rolly don't deserve no fucking. Come on, man.
What you mean? He just upset Ryan. When y'all gonna respect
That's
that? Man?
Ryan, though, bro. That was Ryan. Yeah, I understand, but Ryan ain't no fucking body.
Last year he was somebody.
On the PEDs, man.
Hey.
It's all
Hey,
love, though. I'm a.
don't
What's
be
up, Tone?
Richard Steele stops the fight.
don't be surprised,
What'd you say,
Rolly.
Tone?
Don't be surprised, Rolly get a boots fight, man.
Ah, come on, man. That's
That was the bell, champ. That was the bell. We got Mr. Vega.
Don't be surprised, man.
Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, man. Good morning. Good afternoon, son. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, nah, man. This seeing this kind of being played out, this is amazing, man. I mean, I'm so excited.
What the fuck?
I mean, Manny Pacquiao is a living legend, and now I get to see him fight again. Like, bro, July 19th, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yo, that's like 9 days before my birthday. That is that's what 14 days before Border Wars. I think I'm gonna have to cancel all my plans to make sure I can be at this legendary event. I mean, Mario Barrios, top 5 welterweight in the world, and then the living legend, number 19, greatest fighter of all time according to BoxRec, greatest fighter of the decade in the year 2000 and 2009, 3-4-time boxer of the year, 8 division champion. I mean, honestly, bro, knowing that he's coming back, I think we should consider him pound for pound number 1. I always hear about how resumes matter when it comes to pound for pound. There's no better resume than Manny Pacquiao. All right? He's a southpaw. He already did his tune-up not too long ago, right? So, Barrios, a current champion, way taller than him. We already seen him beat up on a big guy that was Mexican. Barrios is Aztec Mexican descent. Yeah, no, man, it's gonna be a movie, bro. This is everyone should be excited for this. This is gonna be a fight of the lifetime. I mean, bro, who wouldn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao to keep it real? Like anybody. And Mario Barrios is the man stepping up to the challenge. All right. Barrios has been in there with Tank, has been in there with Thurman. Okay. He's been in big fights. He was made for this. There's no other fight I'd rather see than Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios. I might have to tell my girl, like, listen, we're going to have to be broken up for a little bit so I can concentrate on this fight. It's just so massive. It's exactly what sports. I'm gonna tell her, like, hey, babe, I'm a name whore. I'm a name whore. So I want to see Manny Pacquiao return at 46 years old because it's gonna be the movie. All right, 10 out of 10. It's gonna be an event. I got to see the BBLs. You know what I'm saying? I gotta look at BBLs. I can't be focused on your needs. I'm a name ho. Hopefully the winner. Maybe the winner can fight Sugar Ray Leonard. Maybe we can get him ranked number 7, number 1. Something like that. Or maybe the winner can move up and wait and fight the winner of Canelo and Bud. I don't know. The possibilities are endless here. This is what the sport needs. Names. I'm a name ho. You a name ho. And you know what? There's one thing we're missing. I just wish I could hold hands with my buddy and fucking twerk for the Turk, man. I gotta go.
Wow. So I take it he likes to fight.
We'll be mad if he was fighting Jake Paul. Remember that. If Pacquiao's fighting Jake Paul, everybody would be up in arms. At least he's fighting a real boxer. But I'm not saying Jake not a real boxer. I'm just saying, like,
you literally just said that.
no, Jake a real boxer. I'm just saying he fighting somebody like who can really like put this nigga to sleep.
Hopefully, Pacquiao. I mean, Barrios. That's what he need to do. He can't be out here playing with this old dude. He got to show the world, like, yo, I'm on a whole nother level. He got to do what Jake didn't do. Let's be real. That's what he got to do. He got to do exactly what Jake didn't do.
Yeah,
he got to get rid of these old dudes, bro. These old dudes. Listen, he's mad. That last caller's mad. But it's the fighter's job to keep these dudes retired. Like, B-Hop ain't come back. You know what I'm saying? Keep them out the ring. But they looking at these young boys like food. That's what it is. They like, man, I could still beat these motherfuckers. They ain't really got it.
They gonna be sadly mistaken.
You think Barrios beats him?
Hell yeah, Barrios dropped people every fight, and Barrios went through wars. Not saying Pacquiao, but Pacquiao is too old. Just too old. Pacquiao in his prime, he cooked Barrios. Not this, nah, man.
But sometimes they say the time off does you good.
Yeah, but nah, man, he's stuck in mud. It's gonna be soon as the fights start, you're gonna see the difference, man. Pacquiao gonna start getting tattooed. People gonna be like, "Man, stop it, man!
Hey,
Stop
man.
it."
He do got that old man face. If he get hit too much, it's gonna swell real quick.
Yeah, then I remember the last time Ugas wasn't his let me say significant other. You start saying wife, niggas start going dropping 19-hour lives. Wasn't Pacquiao's significant other feeding this nigga water?
Still taking shots at that man. Leave that man alone. Y'all
I'm
so
not taking
leave that man alone. But what happened?
No, I'm saying wasn't Pacquiao wife feeding this nigga soup? After Ugas?
Hell yeah. It was after Ugas? I do remember that though. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
she was. They went viral for that. He had the little that shit was funny. Like not in a mean way, like, oh, I mean, you know what I mean? It's funny that you brought it up. Yo, he said once you feed him soup. I forgot all about that, bro. Stock
Yeah,
chasers.
Soup.
Hey man, let that man go out on his shield, man. Listen. I was against it, but it's here now.
Yo, Nuts, what up? You hear me?
Yup.
Yo, Two Tone, what's good?
What's good, my nigga?
Yo, check this out, man. The WBC is nasty. They got, I mean, it's nasty. I don't know why in the world is Devin Haney at number one when, I mean, he ain't even really fought at 147. And I just don't understand that part. I didn't understand a lot about the rankings. I mean, when you look at all four belts, they have a whole bunch of different names scattered all over the place. But this fight is disgusting. Pacquiao just needs to retire. But I saw a report, if I'm not mistaken, that I think he's coming back because I mean I think there is like a money issue or something. He owes about $19 million in back taxes. And I read a report somewhere. So I could probably double check and I'll send you the link. But yeah, man, it's nasty work. The WBC is nasty. Mario Barrios been hogging that belt. I mean, I don't know for how long. He ain't fighting nobody. He ain't getting stripped. It's just nasty work, man, all around. Thanks for taking my call, Nuts. Be easy, Tony.
All right.
Peace.
So the alleged undercard, did you hear of it?
Jazz is Tim Zoo versus Sebastian.
That's confirmed. But isn't the rematch with Angel Fierro also confirmed?
Oh, yeah, Pitbull. Yeah, Pitbull, Angel Fierro, 100%.
And the speculation fight is Gary Russell and Irikoa, who knocked out Sasaki, is going to be on that undercard.
Wait, not Gary Antoine Russell, the original Gary Russell? Oh, shit.
Nah, Antoine. Because he's 140
Oh,
and Irikoa's is mandatory or some shit like that. So it's gonna be on Prime Video, and they got a hold on a T-Mobile, but due to conflicting Lady Gaga events, the fight may be moved to the MGM Grand.
That's even better.
You can't fuck with Lady Gaga. You gotta move off her date.
Yeah, move.
Off her
Yeah,
venue, rather.
Get up out of here.
Yeah.
I like it, man. That's a fire card, man. Got to salute the PBC.
There's also rumors that Carlos Adames could be on that fight with Telos Norisalanov, but that's not confirmed.
Oh no! Richard Steele stops the fight.
That's a good card. I wish I wish we was in a place of boxing where some of these young fighters could fight each other. Everybody's was build up season. We needed like an Abdullah Mason versus another top 135 pounder, not like a who's Abdullah Mason fighting on the key.
I slacked off, man. Damn it, man.
Does anybody know who's Abdullah Mason fighting on the Keyshawn Davis card?
Yeah, Nakatilia.
That's what I'm saying. Like he couldn't fight a young dude.
I mean,
it's always the
bro. You see what they doing? Their whole game plan is to build their fighters off Shakur. They got both they guys fighting Shakur fighters. One fighting Nakatilia, the other one fighting De Los Santos.
Nasty.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They said, man, stop lying. I'm about to Google that. I'm about to AI that after I do this. He lying. Someone Pacquiao owe $18 million in back taxes. Did he say back taxes? Yeah, he did say back taxes. Malcolm, what up?
Yo, we good?
Yeah.
Shout outs TBV. Shout outs to Boxing Boys. Nat, shout outs you. Shout outs to the Hatrix own, man. Two-Tone. Shout outs to you, my brother.
Salute.
And anybody else who's there, shout outs to y'all. I didn't hear anybody else. But this is disgusting. I don't really fuck with this at all. You know, I'm gonna be consistent from the last time we've talked about this, which was like months ago. I remember when this was a rumor. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck Pacquiao is number 5 in the WBC. You know, I didn't hear the intro or whatever, how the show started, so I don't know the full details. But if he's number 5, it's nasty. The man had an exhibition fight, and that was it. I don't know how exhibitions just randomly just put you up there, but this is just a power play. This is what they do. You know, WBCs, whatever benefits Chicanos, you know. Yes, he's Philippine, but he's one of, you know what I'm saying, Mexico just, you know what I'm saying, they look at him as one of his own, man.
Champ, let me get back to you.
All right, for sure.
Gustavo, how are you?
Good morning, my man. How are you? Good morning.
I'm good.
Thank you. Good morning.
For having
how are you guys?
A few minutes. No, we're good. Happy to have you.
No, thank you, man. Always a pleasure. As long as whenever I can and I'm available, it will be a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well,
I'm and my apologies. I'm connecting through my mobile because I'm I'm remodeling my office, so I'm sitting here in a desk to attend the call. But let's jump into it.
No worries. Appreciate you.
Oh, my pleasure, my man. What's up?
So what was the biggest thing, right? There was something people kept asking you online. And
Yep.
The Teofimo situation, obviously. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Have you guys had your meeting yet? And what do you think is going to come from this situation with Teofimo Lopez? He's actually backtracking. I watched the video today where he says that he asked for where's the liquor at.
Right.
Yeah, well, since last week, I've been receiving tweets or being tagged in tweets as to whether the WBO has a position as to the remarks made by Teofimo. From the outset, regardless of which fighter we're talking about, as long as if I have jurisdiction on only WBO champions, right? We have a strong policy against racism or any type of conduct that is contrary to our principles as a sanctioning body, and we don't discriminate based on race, color, religion, social condition, etc. So I talked to his team, both his managers, Keith Connolly, Mike Borrell. I strongly advise his managers to convey to Teofimo that the WBO will not tolerate any type of racism or any related conduct of that nature under no circumstances. Some people say that the remarks said the N word. Others stated that it was liquor. Um, so I saw the video. My interpretation was as to the word liquor as well, but we can't be ingenuous, in the sense of we have to take affirmative action as to any type of related conduct of that nature. And under my presidency, we will not tolerate any sort of racism or any conduct that it would be in controversial to our rules or principles or policies. So basically, what we did was an admonishment to Tio through his management, and I have to be. I have to any type of affirmative action that I take against a champion. I have to have all the facts and before the WBO, and I have to proceed in accordance with my rules and due process. I cannot strip a champion without having all the relevant facts or supporting evidence and proof, reliable proof before the WBO, and I have to take every step within my rules in order to take that ultimate action. You get me?
Tone?
Oh, yeah, I understand that. But Tio, he's had a track record of kind of like innuendos, like when he said to snatch the banana from Terrence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis, then the eating of the banana with Keyshawn Davis when somebody sent Keyshawn Davis some sort of racist box. And like I respectfully, I think Tio is it insulting.
I mean, the video, right? I mean, he literally said on video with Terrence Crawford, I'm doing it for publicity. And Terrence says, all right, y'all see, that's why I won't fuck him up. But it's numerous different, like he's, I don't know. I just feel like he's getting carried away.
Yeah,
trust me, guys. You have to consider. Remember, any WBO participant that is under our jurisdiction is entitled to certain rights, particularly due process. So, in order for me to strip a champion or take a definitive action that has significant consequences, I have to have all the facts, the supporting evidence, reliable proof. I cannot base my decisions on hearsay, on interpretations, on incompleted facts, misleading. I'm not saying that's what happened in this case. I'm just saying that there's a process that I have to follow before I take that ultimate relief, which is ultimately stripping a champion. I have to have everything in order before I take an action of that nature. So trust me and rest assured, he's one more action by Teofimo or any of other fighters that would warrant our intervention of stripping him or withdrawing or terminating his status as champion, we will take the proper actions. But I have to have all the proper facts, reliable proof, supporting evidence. There's got to be a process. Remember, I'm a licensed attorney, so I have to do everything in accordance with my rules and in accordance with the law.
Right. And but I'm saying he literally says he's done with the racism, so he's acknowledging that he is race baiting. And I think he's insulting black people's intelligence with where's the liquor at? Like we know what he said. We know he had some beef with they have a beef with Terrence Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
And the WBC, they stripped Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia got up out them rankings. Mauricio told that man like, hey,
they strip him about what? He hasn't he hasn't won.
They removed them from the rankings. Yeah, they removed them.
Based on what grounds?
Based on Ryan Garcia's his
I think he
drunken.
had I think he had multiple instances of prohibited conducts. I think it was a the I think he was he made multiple remarks. He had conducted himself in contravention to the rules. I think there were multiple scenarios on a consecutive basis that warranted the BC to take some action, but he wasn't stripped of any title because he hasn't won a championship. I think he was excluded from the ratings. I think he was also inactive. That's another type of scenario. At least the WBO, I can take action as to the circumstances I have before me under my presidency. I cannot consider any previous instances that were under another presidency. My past the past president, my mentor, Paco Varcarcel. So those are the facts and the circumstances that I have before me. Um, but certainly I'm going to be vigilant, because I can't remember. You have to consider. The following. For example, when a fighter tests, let's say an example, when a fighter tests positive for a prohibited substances, we have to consider the circumstances of the particular case. Is it a first offense? What type of offense? What are the implications of such offense? And you have to consider all those circumstances in order to determine what type of penalty the sanctioning body will impose on that particular fighter. So I'm just mentioning or making reference to a particular circumstance because it's a case by case analysis. You get me?
Right.
So I want to shift gears to Charlie Suarez. I understand
Yeah.
each sanctioning body is individual and you have your own bylaws. But
Yeah.
if the right thing isn't done by the commission, can you step in? Because Suarez will never get that opportunity again. It's almost impossible to ask him to break the skin again. A rematch doesn't do what a win would have done for his life and financially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a very unfortunate situation. What's your stance? And yes, can you do something if the commission does not?
Okay, let me clarify that. From the get-go, the WBO has no legal authority or jurisdiction over uh, the conduct of the bout itself. That's a subject matter jurisdiction under the commission. In other words, the state of California. They regulate the event. They regulate the bout. The WBO's jurisdiction is limited only to the title and the ratings, right? So we have to wait until the commission renders a final and definitive ruling in this matter in order for us to determine how to proceed. Now, as to your question whether we can do something, we can surely do something, regardless of what the commission rules. We cannot overturn, change, modify an official result registered by the commission. In other words, if the commission now determines that they're going to rule this bout a no contest, for example, if that be the case, that does not prevent the WBO from taking affirmative action in the sense of ordering a rematch if that would be the case. So, as a matter of deference and respect to the local commission, which has the jurisdiction over the conduct of the bout, once they make a final and definitive ruling, we will convene as a committee and we will determine the next proper steps in accordance to our rules, whether that would be an immediate rematch, etc. But we can surely take our rules provide me an alternative to as to this issue between Navarrete and Suarez.
And what was the fighter that Suarez fought to even get ranked?
I think Suarez defeated Cortez. Cortez was highly ranked.
Which Cortez?
Andres Cortez. Andres Cortez, if I believe correctly, for a WBO regional title. I think Cortez was highly ranked.
I hope you're right because I thought Cortez was undefeated. What the heck? Yeah, he's
Can you check
undefeated.
on BoxRec?
Yeah, he's
Let me see.
undefeated.
Let,
I'll
let, let me let
screenshot
me
it.
check that real. Let me check that real quick because let me check. Let me see. Let me see.
No worries.
I'll
Take
tell
your
you right
time.
now.
For those that are just tuning in, we're live with the WBO president, Gustavo Olivieri, and he is now checking this. Olivieri.
Olivieri.
Olivieri, and he is now checking the status of Charlie Suarez and what fight got him ranked.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. We're talking about 17 weight classes, 15 fighters per weight class. That's 255 fighters. So that could be let me see. Let me see. He has not won a WBO regional title, but he's got the merits to be rated, man. He's fought 10 rounders, he's fought 8 rounders technically, Nelson. Uh per the ABC, let me see. Per the ABC ratings criteria, a fighter may receive a top rating within the sanctioning bodies to the WBO is within the top 15 if you have at least 2 fights scheduled at 10 or 4 fights scheduled at 8. So technically, he's entitled to be rated if he was requested to be installed, and he was requested to be installed and within the top 15. Now the question is,
When you say
and I have.
requested, just to be clear, when you say requested, that's requested by his team or by his promoter?
It could be either by his team, his promoter, or the WBO motu proprio, which is a legal term. Like we have the power itself to check within all the fighters in boxing in that particular weight division and check within the monthly changes in the ratings. Okay, we can add this guy, we can exclude that guy, we can move up, move down. As long as the fighter has at least 2 fights scheduled for 10 rounds conducted or 4 scheduled for 8 rounds, right? And a positive record, he's technically entitled to be granted a top rating within a sanctioning body. Now the question is, and I have to do that due diligence, uh, what was his track record to occupy the number 1 position? That's homework I have to do to give you the answer because I don't have it at this time.
You know I'm gonna throw the name Albert Bell. He's got numerous 10 rounders.
Bring it. No, but he was.
10
But Nelson,
rounders. Nestor.
Nestor. My apology, Nestor. Albert Bell was rated, and and I've discussed this multiple times in different interviews and also through social media. He reached the number 1 spot, but you can occupy that number 1 spot under multiple scenarios, not necessarily because you defeated a rated contender. The problem with Bell, and we have advised his team on numerous occasions, and we have this in writing, he hasn't fought a rated contender. You cannot become a mandatory challenger if you have not defeated rated contenders. That's very simple, and and our rules provide that criteria. You can be, and let me explain you a scenario that is very simple, so your followers and your fans can understand. Let's say you have Albert Bell was rated number 4, right? He won a regional title. He went up in the natural in the normal circumstances of changes on a monthly basis. Let's say he got to the number 4 spot. Let's say the number 1 fighter won a title from another sanctioning body, so he's technically unavailable. He gets excluded. So number 2 moves to number 1, number 3 to number 2, number 4 to number 3. Albert's number 3. Then then the number 1 again is inactive because he got injured and he won't be available to fight for 1 year. That number 1 is excluded, and then number 2 moves to number 1, number 3 to number 2, and then you have the number 1 again loses a particular bout, and then he gets demoted, and Albert gets to number 1 automatically by default. That was his circumstance. He didn't get he didn't get to number 1 because he had fought rated opposition. He got to number 1 because of default. And you may argue, well, That was maybe that's a problem you guys have. There was poor oversight, and why he occupied the number one spot if he hasn't defeated a rated contender, and that is a valid argument. Well, that was not under my presidency, right? I have to be very objective and truthful to you. But he hasn't fought a rated contender. You could occupy the number one position, but you have to check his track record to see, oh, let me see how he got to the number one spot. You see, that's Albert Bell's uh, track record. Those are the facts. And there's people that has, oh, but why haven't you ordered an elimination bout between Albert Bell and another rated contender? Because in order for the BO to order an elimination bout, it has to be between fighters that have defeated rated opposition. And
So
in another, and let me finish. And
Go
another
ahead.
and another argument is the WBO orders elimination bouts when it's warranted in a particular weight class. Because if we are at least under my presidency, I'm striving to find the proper ways or mechanisms to justify having a worthy mandatory challenger. Because if I do it correctly, I not only benefit the champion, also the challenger, the promoter, the TV network. Because you guys and the fans, you guys don't want to see a champion fighting a nobody, right?
Right.
So you have to carefully consider each particular scenario per division. Because remember, Nestor, it's a case by case analysis. And at the same time, if there's no mandatory pending, why would you order an elimination bout? The winner of that elimination bout is entitled to certain rights. And if I order an elimination bout right now in 130 pounds and Navarete is in his voluntary stage, the winner of that elimination bout can stay there waiting 1 year and freezes the division. You get me? So I rather authorize or sanction regional titles and keep the division active. And when the mandatory comes, either the highest available contender that has defeated rated opposition is designated the mandatory, or we do an elimination bout between the highest two rated contenders that have defeated rated opposition. Because sometimes we did that with Catterall and Barbosa, and people were saying, "Oh, this is a legitimate." One versus two fighters fighting for the mandatory for Teo. Two great fighters, one and two, that both had deserving or merited arguments as to becoming the mandatory, similar records. And that was like the definitive fight for both of them to become the mandatory for Teo. Because you don't want to force people have to understand this is a sport, but intertwined with the business aspect and entertainment, right? That's the truth. So we have to at least find a way to at least benefit all the components of that particular case, whether it's the fighters, the promoters, the managers, the other stakeholders, the TV, the networks, the media, the fans, because you can't just order a mandatory for the sake of it with an undeserving contender. It is a disservice for the champion, for the challenger, for the TV network, for the promoter, etc.
It sounds like popularity comes into play, especially when you're saying TV network. But not to keep harping on this situation, but you ordered the 2 and 4. And now, based off of your answer, it sounds like you ordered 2 and 4 in Liam Wilson and Oscar Valdez because it's better for the network. Oscar is more known. It's a bigger fight, not only for the network, but for the WBO as well. But again, Albert Bell got
We didn't. No,
skipped.
no, no, no. Let me clarify that, Nestor. We didn't order anything. We didn't order Wilson against Valdez. We simply sanctioned that fight. Remember,
Yeah, but
I
he won
cannot.
the interim title on that fight, and that's why he fought
No,
Navarete.
yeah, that is true, but we didn't order that fight. That fight simply the parties agreed on doing that fight, and Navarrete was moving up to 135 to face Baranchek, and we did the interim in light of those particular
But
circumstances.
that's what
We
I'm
didn't order
saying,
that.
Gustavo. But that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Albert Bell was
But you
number
can't.
1 and Archie Sharp
But
was
you
number 3, and you didn't order them.
that
You
is
didn't put nothing on
th-
the line for them.
but you Nestor, but you cannot order a fight for an interim title between two rated guys that have not defeated rated opposition.
But they
Check
were gonna
Liam's
fight each
records.
other. Albert Bell and Archie Sharp were
Uh-huh.
they were gonna fight each other. All you had to do was make Archie Sharp fight Albert Bell, not make, but order the fight. Number 1
But
and number 3, but instead you
no, but
did number 2 with number
but
4.
I can understand the argument, but I cannot
Not argument,
remember Nestor.
confusion. We're confused.
Okay, no, but let me clarify because it's a valid point. You would say why wouldn't the WBO ordered 1 and 3, Bell and Sharp? Because neither fighter had defeated rated opposition, Nestor. I cannot order, I cannot issue a ruling contrary to what my rules provide. We allowed, instead of ordering, we allowed Valdez and Wilson because both had defeated rated opposition, former champion, former world title contender. They have different records and accomplishments in comparison to Sharp and Bell, who neither of them have fought rated opposition. Those are the facts. If you check Liam records, if you check Liam Wilson's record and Oscar Valdez's record, totally different merits than Bell and Sharp. Neither Bell nor Sharp have defeated rated opposition. I cannot order a fight between two rated guys that have not faced rated opposition. Those are the facts.
I'm gonna check because honestly, I only remember Liam Wilson for giving a great fight with Navarete, but he didn't win. So I
But he
don't.
fought rated. But check Liam.
But
Check Liam.
we're
Check
gonna have to
Liam
move on.
Wilson's
We're gonna have
record.
to move on because now you're gonna
No,
tell me
man.
fighting and not winning is enough. If Liam
No,
didn't
I'm
beat
telling.
Navarete, what does it
No,
matter
but
that you fought that
no.
competition? You didn't
But
beat him.
let me explain this, sir. So you can. And I love this because we're going back and forth, and it's an informative, educational for the
Oh, for
fans,
sure. I
and
want to
and
learn
and
myself.
and clarifying. Let me explain. If you check Liam Wilson's box rec, you will
I'm on it.
see that within a particular period, he defeated rated opposition, contrary to Bell and Sharp that have not faced rated opposition. In light thereof, Liam Wilson had more merits to fight for the title than Bell and Sharp. As to Valdez, former world champion and has defeated multiple rated opponents. So I cannot order a fight for the title or the interim between fighters that have not faced rated opposition.
Can
That's
I
the
can I get
difference.
the definition of rated opposition? What exactly does that mean to you?
Well, in other words, if you're rated number 2, for example, you fight a guy rated number 5, number 6, number 10, 11, 12, 13, up to 15. It's like if I'm rated number 4, for example, and I fight a guy rated number 10, and I defeat that guy, for our records, you defeated a rated contender. Albert Bell entered the WBO ratings because he had won a regional title, the NABO, which is fair, right? That's certainly a sure pathway within to be considered within the top 15. He won an NABO. And then our office, through our executive director, she advised his team, "Hey, congratulations on winning an NABO title. In order to keep moving up the ratings, you should defend the title, but also, most importantly, you need to defeat rated opposition." And sometimes you got fighters moving up the ladder because of the normal changes on a monthly basis in the ratings. Fighters get in, out, moved up, down, inactive, committed, unavailable, a legal impediment, wins another title. Different circumstances. Now, that was the past. Under my presidency, I'm striving my best to correct these maybe oversight that made people, oh, that guy's number one, he never got a shot at the title. So in order to avoid those misconceptions or confusions or concerns, I'm a little bit more vigilant in that regard to avoid having a fighter occupying the number one position. And the people, oh, but he's number one. In the WBO, you need to be more than number one. You need to defeat rated opposition to become the mandatory. Because then you have the problem on the flip side, Nestor, that you have a guy number one, we make him the mandatory, and you guys would be, oh, who's that guy? He's never fought nobody. That's a cab driver. That's a bum. That and we had, and let me tell you, we do you remember when Janibek fought a guy called in 160? He was a guy from the UK. Uh, Janibek had a problem in finding opponents, right? And he went through the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he got a guy. I think it was 11 or 12 or 10, something like that. I don't remember his name. He had won a regional title, a guy from the UK. When they fought, we got huge backlash, and rightfully so. The guy had occupied a top 15 rated position, but he when he fought Janibek, he wasn't at the level. Right, that was a couple of years back, but that's an example of why we have to be more vigilant as to fighters complying with the required criteria, because you want the best talent in your ratings. That when the time comes, you have a good fight like Suarez and Navarete. It was a terrific fight. Wouldn't you agree?
It was a good fight. I
Yeah,
just wish
yeah.
Suarez would have got the win. He deserved the
Well, but
TKO.
we will have to see what's going to happen. But rest assured, Nestor, I'm going to take the proper steps to comply with my rules upon the commission rendering the ruling. But it is very important that the fans, the media, they need to know all the facts, right? And do what you're doing, questioning, scrutinizing,
I'm
asking
not
the
done.
proper questions.
I'm
No,
not
come
done.
on.
I'm just waiting for an opportunity because if we shift to Xander, Xander's fought no WBO rated opposition unless the WBO doesn't print it. I can't find anything. Patrick Teixeira wasn't even ranked in the WBO. Slaughter,
Okay.
whatever, Damian Sosa, none of them were ranked in the WBO.
What I'm gonna do, Nestor, I'm gonna
Not top
send you.
15. Not top 15.
I'm gonna.
Excuse me.
No, no. No. That's not accurate. He's fought
Okay.
some rated opposition. I'll send you. I'll send you the resolution by email, and you can post it in your website,
For
or
sure.
where we make reference of all his opponents since he entered the ratings and the dates when he fought them. And you go in our website, and you go to the ratings and you check the date of the particular fight. When for example, Xander fought on June 25, let's say, for example, right? June 25, 2020. If that will be the, let's say this is the example. Xander fought on June 25, 2025. You go to our ratings for that particular month, and if you see the fighter rated there, he fought a rated opponent. I'm going to send you the resolution where we make reference to his track record as to the fighters he has fought during his time as a rated fighter. So he has fought rated opposition. So technically, it has satisfied the required criteria to be designated as a mandatory challenger. He inherited the position to be the mandatory. So it is not correct that he has not fought rated opposition.
Do you
And
know
you
who
may
they
have an
are
argument.
though? But do you know who they are? Because
The
his last
the
three,
the last one was Spoomer. He was rated. I believe he was I think he was 9 or 10, something like that at that time. I'll tell you right now. I'll
I
tell you
mean,
right now. Stay there.
Spoomer was
Stay
an
there.
unbeaten
Stay there.
German.
Stay
He was
there. Stay
20
there.
and
Let me
0,
let me
11
check.
KOs. He was coming off a first round knockout of
Yeah.
Adam Nagagi from
Yeah.
November 24th. WBO rank anti says no source confirmed that Spoomer was in the top
February.
15.
Stay
While he
there.
was a
Stay there.
credible opponent, his lack of mention in the WBO ranking suggests that he was unranked.
No, I'll tell you now. Where are you reading this, man?
Good old
I'll
internet.
I'll I'll tell you now. I'll tell you now. I'll tell you right now. Okay, so Xander. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. He fought. Let me see. This is. Let me see when. Give me a second, Nestor. Let me get you the resolution real quick. I'm looking for it. Okay, give me a second, so we can answer everything properly. And this, I'm getting this from the get go, Nestor. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
from the side. Yes. Okay, opening the resolution here. Let me see.
You might be right. People confirming in the chat that Spoomer was ranked.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you right now. Let me see. I'll send you the. I'll send you the resolution. But Spoomer was ranked when he fought Zaya. Let me see when. When. Give me a second.
Spoomer
That's
was
his name.
number 11. Number 11.
11. Yes, 11. 11. Yeah, he was. He was Nestor. He was rated. Yeah, I'll send you the resolution once I'm in my phone. I'll send it to you shortly. Okay.
But that was
Yeah,
one
he was.
guy, right? Or is there more?
No, no. There's more. There's more. Remember, Nestor. You in order to be the mandatory, per our rules, you need to be active. You need to be winning. You need to face rated opposition. You need to be considered an acceptable challenger to the television or the streaming network's platform, etc. All those criteria need to be satisfied. So Xander had he had all the merits to be the mandatory, and he inherited the position when Crawford relinquished his mandatory status because Crawford's going to pursue the fight with Canelo now, you know. And also, you need to be the highest available rated contender, which Saez occupied the position at the time we made the designation.
All right. I got a couple of questions. Do you still have time?
Sure. Yeah, man. Go ahead. What's
I
up?
got C. Smith. Gustavo, are you saying you heard Tio say, quote unquote, where's the liquor? I just want to confirm.
Can you repeat the question?
He's asking, are you saying that you heard Tio say, where is the liquor? And he just wants to confirm that that's what you're saying when you said that earlier.
Those were the remarks that were referred to me. I have not seen the totality of the footage.
I have Donald.
Remember,
Oh,
I
go ahead.
cannot remember to explain to address this to the fans. Remember, I have to see the totality of the evidence. I cannot see an extraction of the footage or a small part of the footage. I have to see the whole thing in the whole context. I'm not trying to justify myself, to be clear. If something's wrong, it's wrong. But as a licensed attorney and have to do things according to the law, I have to see the totality of the circumstances and the whole extraction of the video, the footage,
One way
to
Renzo.
make a proper assessment. Yeah.
Excuse me. Donald from Baton Rouge. What fight do you want to see at the end of the year? Odd question.
I want to see Crawford Canelo, man.
That's a good one. One way Renzo. Tio is one of the faces of the
Yeah.
WBO. Are you happy with how he is representing the organization?
Tio is what I can say is Tio is very controversial, right? He's also an entertainer, a highly skilled athlete. If you meet Tio outside the camera on the flash and the entertainment side, well-grounded kid, very helpful for the youth, the kid, very supportive, I would say, when we do things for the kids. He's been very loyal to the WBO. But one thing is those facts, and the other is the constant controversial aspects of his career, or the allegations of his outside the ring antics and that sort of stuff. I have my reservations, certainly, but in light of these recent the recent controversy, I have to be very vigilant, and if I have to take affirmative action, regardless if it's Tio, I will do it. I have no issue whatsoever. The rules are to be complied, adhered to consistently, regardless of who is the fighter.
Can you explain the status of Brian Norman Jr. and his mandatory or voluntary?
Yep. Norman is going to fight Sasaki. That's a voluntary. Thereafter, he has 6 months to fulfill a mandatory. There's no mandatory challenger at this time designated at the welterweight division.
So Rocha being number one that doesn't guarantee him the spot.
Correct. Correct. Did he win his last fight?
I'm pretty
No.
sure.
Right? I think it was a draw. Right?
Alexis Rocha? Let me double check.
Alexis Rocha. I
So
think
what about a
he
guy
fought.
like Rohan Polanco? At number 10, can he jump? Because him and Brian Norman been talking back and forth, and you're right, it was a draw with Raul Curiel.
Correct. So Polanco, if he wanted to move up to 147, the process is his promoter and manager would have to request to the WBO, hey, we want to fight in 147. Can you install me in the top
ranked.
15?
He's ranked.
No, he's ranking
number 10 on your
he's,
rankings.
Yeah, but he's ranking 140. Norman is 147.
I'll double check, but I have him at 46.
He's in 147. Polanco's in 147.
Yeah.
Okay, if he's rated in 147, he can fight Norman as a voluntary. He cannot be mandatory. In order to be mandatory, you need to be the highest rated available contender that has satisfied the criteria for such designation. Defeating rated opposition, positive record, being considered an acceptable challenger for the Champions Television Network or streaming platform, etc. At this time, Polanco doesn't satisfy that criteria for the mandatory. If Norman wanted to fight him as a voluntary, if he's rated, no problem.
And he can do that after Sasaki if it's right away in between those 6 months only, right?
That is correct. That is correct, mister.
We got Diggy that says, this is Wyatt in Texas. My question is, how do you feel about the WBC using their power to jump the line for the David Benavidez mandatory for Bivol? That is a great question. Because last time we talked, you were under the impression you were first, and then Maurice.
No. I'm not first. It is my understanding that
the IBF, the IBF was supposed to be first.
That the IBF, my understanding, it's that the IBF is first in the rotation system, right? And the agreement amongst the sanctioning body is that the oldest mandatory has to be discharged first, which is the IBF's mandatory. The WBC ordered their mandatory. That's the question that the fan or you guys must address to the WBC as to why they forced their mandatory. We go after it's the IBF, and I believe, and thereafter it's our turn because the BC had their mandatory, which was Callum Smith. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We got Malcolm in New York. He says, I'm Puerto Rican and African American, and I am very disappointed that you claim to have heard liquor. I have slowed down the clips, and in no way did I hear the letter L get rolled in the beginning of that word. Broner, Devin received way more backlash from their remarks, which were less severe than Tio's. Some type of fine or punishment should sue, as his racial slurs will probably allow him to get a payday and have other fighters follow his blueprint. Very disappointed, but there's nothing I can do.
Well, duly noted. What I can do is I'll try to get the full footage of these remarks to carefully assess the situation, and if I have to, proceed with another type of remedy or relief and or imposition on Teo, I will do it. That's not a problem.
Nathan, is a lot of Teo questions. Nathan, please confirm,
Yeah.
quote unquote, even if Teo used the N word, end quote, is he protected by the Freedom of Speech Act? Or since the WBO is based outside of the USA, it doesn't apply and the WBO can strip him? Also, remember, Teo has had multiple infractions.
Yeah, true. No, remember Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so technically we are subject to U.S. jurisdiction and federal laws also and state laws. So that's a terrific question. The freedom of speech is not an absolute right. There are certain restrictions as to exercising the right to free speech, whether it's the location, the extent of that free speech, etc. That's a very good question. I would need to carefully analyze the nature of those remarks, the extent of those remarks, in the context of those remarks. So it's not an easy assessment. But I'm gonna assess the situation, and again, if I have to take more affirmative actions, I will do so.
I got a side text from Adrien Clark. He's my next interview, and he said, tell Gustavo not Olivetti, he said Olivetti?
Olivieri.
Olivieri. He said, tell him, he said, hello. Then he texted again and said, we don't want Polanco. Tell Gustavo to approve Norman and Earl Spence. But obviously he's joking. He's joking.
Adrian Clark is my friend, one of the good guys in boxing.
No,
Okay.
he's definitely one of the good guys. I got Rod
Yeah.
in LA. Why hasn't
Yeah.
Albert Bell been ordered to a title eliminator? You already answered that. We're just giving him his credit. We got Quest in the VA. He says,
I
what's
got a
up?
question, Nestor. I got a question, Nestor. Have the fans or the media have they questioned Albert Bell why he hasn't faced rated opponents?
I mean, nobody wants to fight a 6 foot, 130 pounder. That's why RC Sharp didn't take the fight.
Well,
But that's
you
what
you,
you're
you
there
you
for. You
just you
order
just
it. You
you
order it, and now that
yeah,
guy
but the
has
thing,
to fight him.
Ne- Nestor, no, that's not completely true. I can order a fight, but I cannot force the fighters to enter the ring. We
No, for
have
sure.
limited power with we have limited power within our rules, within our jurisdiction.
But with
And there's so
Shakur,
much that I can.
remember
Yeah.
the situation with Shakur. It was like Isak
What?
Cruz didn't want to fight. Then William
Yeah.
Cepeda didn't want to fight. Eventually, he got to the
Yeah.
number 6 in Edwin De Los Santos. That's all we asking you to do. If Archie Sharp don't want to fight, and Liam Smith don't want to, or Liam Williams don't want to fight, and Oscar don't, get to the one that's willing to fight, because it's not fair to Albert Bell. Like, you got to understand, Vic Green
Yeah.
isn't Bob Arum.
I
So,
know that.
so he's
I know that.
positioned Albert Bell. And it's
But
been
you know
years.
something?
It's been
But you
years
know
of
something?
positioning.
That I told Victor, which is a very nice guy. He's a classy, he's a gentleman. And Albert Bell, he also came to the WBO once to visit the main offices. Great guy. It's in a very unfortunate case. We told Bell, fight a rated opponent, and I'll have within my rules the authority to force it. Because if he had defeated at least one rated contender when he occupied the number one position, he would be in a better position to have standing to say, you know what, WBO? I'm number one, and I defeated a top 15 rated contender. Give me my mandatory shot. And I would have no justifications to disregard that argument. I would have to say, here's the negotiation order. Bell against this guy because Bell defeated a rated contender. He hasn't met that criteria. Simple as that.
Unfortunate situation. We got Quest and VA. What's up? Thanks for your time. Blind rank these fighters. Excuse me. Blind rank these fights. Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. So it's
Yeah.
1 through 5 situation, and he doesn't want me to tell you the next fight. So if you like Tim Tszyu versus Fundora as your number 1 fight, keep in mind you don't know what's coming next.
No. I think what I want to see Norman and Sasaki. That should be a fire fight.
Oh, no,
I
no, no.
want
He's giving you the fight. So Fundora versus Tim Tszyu, where do you rank it 1 through 5? Position.
five,
Okay.
five.
Anthony versus Andy Ruiz. I guess Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz again.
No interest in that fight, none whatsoever.
Devin versus Loma again.
I was there for the first fight. It was a terrific fight, high pace, high level stuff.
Chris Eubank.
Number four, yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry. You were gonna rank that one at number
that's
4.
not no no no. That's no no.
Chris Eubank versus Conor Ben, the rematch.
It was a good fight, but not not particularly interested in the rematch. To be honest with you.
And where would you rank Canelo versus Triple G2, the second one?
Oof, that's one of my favorite fights. The second one was terrific as the first one. I was there for the second one.
Last question here. Well, not the
Yeah,
last, but probably the last. Ali
yeah.
Adego, he says, Gustavo, I think having the Canelo versus Crawford fight on Netflix is a horrible decision because of the buffering from the Tyson versus Paul fight. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts?
I think Netflix Netflix most likely, in light of what happened during the Paul Tyson fight, they make the proper adjustments, right,
I hope.
to avoid having a similar scenario for a future event. I think they're going to be ready, and there's so much that they can do from a technology standpoint. They may have, if this fight gets the views similar like in Tyson Jake Paul, I think they're going to take the proper steps to avoid having any difficulties as to the streaming or the live viewership. So I don't see that. That's even positive for the sport. It creates buzz, controversy, and it's like a marketing campaign, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
I got Treese in Ohio that says, "What's your thoughts on Dubois bypassing Parker and getting a Usyk rematch? Is that right?"
No, that he didn't bypass anybody. We ordered the mandatory, right? Parker against Usyk. We ordered the mandatory. We enforced the mandatory as we do, and the parties agreed on the unification. So the person that has the key to this to allow the unification is basically Parker. So most likely than not, Team Parker agreed as well on allowing the unification. On the flip side, the WBO established a provision when we sanctioned Usyk against Fury, the rematch, that we would reserve our right to render any future ruling that would best serve the interests of boxing. So, in other words, when there's a unification of this magnitude, whereby we have undisputed again, in comparison to the mandatory, evaluating the totality of the circumstances, making a balance, the committee has also that power to say, you know what? Let's take a step back to the mandatory, allow the unification to reunify all the titles, have only one champion, and thereafter satisfy the mandatory. But we did what we said we were going to do, which was force the mandatory. You would need, or the fans would need to address to the teams from Dubois, Parker, and Usyk as to what happened that Parker is not facing Usyk. We order the fight, but if the parties have an agreement, including Parker, the WBO has no objection to that regard. But we ordered the mandatory.
Did they put in a petition to make that fight, to have you approve that fight?
Yes. Yeah. Team Usyk made a petition to allow the unification to take place prior to the mandatory. They did. Yes.
It's like the number one contender it's hard to get your shot in this business. It's hard to get your shot.
Not necessarily, Nestor. You have to also consider the totality of the circumstances and would the general. I mean the all the stakeholders of boxing, would they want to see the unification for the undisputed and have only one champion in that particular weight division, or would they rather see a mandatory take place instead of reunifying the titles? Well, some may say the mandatory, others may say the unification, but at the end of the day, the unification benefits everyone. And technically, a unification takes precedence over the mandatory. And if the WBO would have to consider that particular scenario, I'm very sure that the committee would say, you know what? The unification benefits all the stakeholders. It clarifies the division. It provides only one champion in the heavyweight division, which is the most important weight class in boxing historically, and would benefit all the fighters, the networks, the promoters, and even the mandatory challenger. Because I'm sure that Team Parker made, they made their probably they assessed the situation, and they made the decision that best serves their fighter, which is Parker.
I mean, but Parker himself questioned Dubois' withdrawal from the original fight, and the lack of medical proof or official statements for his alleged sickness. And then all of a sudden you're sick, and then next week you're in an undisputed fight. It just doesn't even look right. As the president, don't you think that doesn't look right?
I honestly I lack knowledge of the particulars pertaining to that scenario whereby Dubois got sick and he withdrew from the fight. I was there in Riyadh, and the information I got at that time was that prior to the weigh-in, he was physically unfit to proceed with the fight. And thereafter, remember that Queensberry has both fighters. Why wouldn't they want to do that fight, Parker and Dubois, in a big event? Because technically, the winner would be fighting.
The bigger fight is Usyk, undisputed. That's the bigger fight, the
Well,
bigger money fight too. You're gonna have Turkey
no,
Al
but
Sheikh putting
but
finances.
but remember, regardless of who would be the winner between Parker and Dubois, the same promotional outlet would basically, it was an in-house fight.
Yeah, it's
If
a
it was
win-win for the
Parker,
promoter, Gustavo, but the issue is that it's not a win
yeah,
for Parker. The bigger fight is Dubois and Usyk because of the controversial body blow. But if Dubois loses to Parker, who was on a run, he had 6 scalps, like big
but
names.
we Nestor, I agree 100%. We order the fight.
But
You would need to
you
ask.
also approved the petition. It's like you ordered the fight, but you also said, yeah, if you want to fight Dubois, fight him. That's what you
No,
guys
remember,
did.
no. We did the following. Before Parker won the title, we had established certain conditions considering foreseeable scenarios, either a trilogy, a unification, because these scenarios are foreseeable, right? So Parker, his team knew these conditions, knew these terms, acknowledged them, fought for the title. When you fight under these conditions, you basically need to abide by them. We order the mandatory. Now, Team Parker has the key. If they didn't want to, if they wanted to go forward with the mandatory, he has the key to stop the unification. You would need to ask Team Parker.
All right, last one is
Yeah.
Octo. He's always so strange. What's your favorite
Yeah.
movie? Do you have a favorite movie? Oh, we lost him.
Godfather.
Oh, Godfather. And
Godfather.
the last one is from Jonathan Sims. He says, as someone raising and guiding a young fighter towards the future in a professional boxing, what advice do you have for an independent boxer without the backing of a major promoter like the Top Ranks or the PBC on navigating the later stages of their amateur career and transitioning into the professional ranks in a way that positions them to get ranked eventually and fight for a world title?
That's a great question, man. Get somebody that knows boxing. primarily a lawyer. And if it's a lawyer combined with a CPA, certified public accountant, you would have the best two worlds. And somebody that has good connections, credibility, respect, integrity, honesty, responsible, trustworthy, um, and that knows the inner workings about boxing. I think that's key, man. Because in this business, you may not have all the talent and skill, but if you have the proper people behind you, you may have a shot. You know.
The super duper last one, just your thoughts on Manny Pacquiao coming back and being placed in number 5 in the WBC rankings. I feel like if Bud Crawford fights Canelo, win or lose, retires for 5 years, why wouldn't you, as the WBO president, rank him in the top whatever division he wants to come back to when he's been a WBO champion for like 20 years? Is there something wrong in what the WBC did?
As to Pacquiao's return, that's a very personal decision. I have no, I have no particular opinion as to that decision making process. That's a very personal decision that he makes as to whether returning to the ring. As to being rated, at least in order to fight for a title in the WBO, you need to be rated, and in order to be rated, you need to be active. So per our rules, he cannot be rated. That's my position in the WBO.
But he's fought for so many WBO titles. None of
Yeah,
that
but I have
matters,
to.
like
But
legacy or
Nestor,
time
Nestor,
in with the
Nestor,
company.
Ne- Nestor, I have to follow the rules, man. I cannot enforce the rules one way for a fighter and disregard them for another fighter. If my rules require me that a fighter, in order to fight for a title, has to be active, and he's been inactive for 5 years, I cannot disregard that rule.
Can
If I do that,
Pacquiao
I set a bad precedent.
can Pacquiao
You know.
petition to the WBO to be heard? Like, I mean, if I'm standing in front of you, it's like, yo,
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. He can petition to be heard, but I'm telling you that is a very strong it's going to be very likely that if he would be if he would petition to be rated, he would be denied, because in order to be rated, you need to be active. He's been inactive for 5 years, so I cannot, regardless of how many titles he has won, his loyalty to the WBO. It's unfortunate, but those are the rules, man. I have to follow the rules.
I didn't think that would be. I thought for sure a guy like a Pacquiao. That's. I mean,
Yeah,
how many WBO titles has he had?
I have to check numerous.
Exactly. All right,
But
but that was the last question.
Nestor, remember, man, if if I remember, I'm the new guy. I got all eyes on me. Everyone's trying to see where I drop the ball. So I'm striving to make things, uh, do the best that I can, correctly, properly, honestly, with integrity and honorable, keeping my word. I have to abide by my rules. That's why we have a legal framework. If I enforce the rules one way for this particular fighter and disregard them for the other fighter, how would I look, man? So I gotta be very careful to assess every situation on a case by case basis. On some instances, our rationale may not be, agreed upon by you, the media, the general public. On other instances, you guys may agree. Well, that's life, right? We're not perfect, but we have to strive to do things correctly. So at least that's my motto, man.
All right. No, appreciate your time as always, Gustavo. Thank you for coming on. And
Oh
yeah,
wait,
It
hold
was a
on,
pleasure, man.
Gustavo. Can you break down the event I saw last weekend? I don't know if it was in Puerto Rico with Amanda Serrano, Jake Paul.
Yes.
What Jake Paul's doing for women's boxing is Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
event looked lit, man. Like I don't know, we all was outside. It looked like a vibe out there. I
Thank
saw
you,
the
man.
amateur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Break that, break
Okay,
that down.
I'll break it down. What we did was I discussed with Amanda Serrano and her team about this concept, to be called the Amanda Serrano's Championships. whereby we would institutionalize in Puerto Rico an all amateur female tournament to provide these upcoming talents a platform to showcase their skills before the world under the Amanda Serrano tutelage, sponsored by the WBO, because it's one of our core missions to promote the systematic development of amateur boxing. So Amanda, who is in the twilight stage of her career, once she retires, she has this program under the WBO banner to guide these ladies who decide to eventually transition to the pro ranks, the proper way to conduct themselves, to do business. What are the things they need to be aware of from a professional fighter standpoint. So we did, I think it was 12 fights, 12 amateur fights, different ages, and we did the whole scenery in a place called the T-Mobile District here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, with the pink color themes, LED screens. We did like a little museum of Amanda Serrano memorabilia, like a semi-pro type of format, in a way which all the ladies had introductions with a little bit of fireworks and
Oh, nice.
video. And we gave them like a little WBO female championship belt with the word future champions and an Amanda Serrano little statue with medals. So it was, man, it was a resounding success, better than what we expected. So she's very happy. And we're going to take this tournament, we're going to conduct it on a yearly basis. So the WBO will sponsor this, and next year we'll have other female talents coming internationally. And who knows, maybe Amanda Serrano has the eye on one of these talents for a future fighter under her banner.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Amateurs are the future
Yeah,
stars of tomorrow. Want to thank
that is
you.
true.
Obviously,
My
want to
pleasure,
thank
man.
you for coming on and always giving us the time to talk. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you want to give out your social media, please do, and appreciate you.
Yeah, everyone can find me at Olivieri Law. Olivieri, Olivieri, and law as in lawyer. And I appreciate you, Nestor, and your colleague. Whenever, whatever, and then always keep up the good work of questioning and inquiring about decisions and all that stuff. That's what we need: transparency, honesty, and integrity in the sport. And if when we make the things right, we get our props, and then when we do things incorrectly, we get criticized. We're here to try to do the best of what we can with what we have, man. Okay.
Nah, man, you did great. I thought I was prepared. I was wrong about Xander. You were right. So, credit.
Thanks, boss
Appreciate
man.
you. All right.
Peace, peace.
There you have it. WBO President Gustavo Oliveri. I don't think it's Oliveri. Oliveri? I don't know. Something like that. It's not as simple as it sounds. It's an extra I in there.
Oliveri.
But, damn, they got a media workout today. Did I get the email and miss it?
Media workout for who?
Carome and Plant, I think. I think.
So basically Tio gonna get a slap on the wrist.
I mean, I wouldn't want him to lose his belt, but he should definitely get some sort of fine and have to do some sort of apology, maybe some sort of like
African American class. Like he should have to spend like 24 hours with Dr. Umar.
he gotta do something, man. He gotta do something. It's I don't know why he's going that route, bro. Big Gucci. I really don't.
24 hours with Dr. Umar.
He saw. He
Yo,
said. He
what's
said it
up,
ain't that
gang?
hard and didn't put the I. Where your I at, bro? There's an I after the V, before the V and after the V.
Or he should have to watch Roots.
What up, champ? You there?
Oh, what's poppin', man? Yeah, man. Shout out TBV, Two Tone, the superstar.
Yeah.
Shout out my man Nelson. Yo, nah, I'm playing. I'm playing. That shit was pretty funny though. Good interview by Oliveri, man. And to this, I missed a little bit of the interview. I was kind of in and out, but just to touch on this topic, man. Um, yeah, I hear some callers calling in, critiquing this fight and shit, bro. But look, Barrios is smart, man. He's gonna get that bag. It's probably the biggest bag he can get at 147. You feel me? And it's a legendary name, man. To put that on his resume, he would probably go down in history, man. Everyone, because look, Pacquiao is going down in history, and like all the new generation's gonna look back at all the legendary fighters and see who beat them, and they gonna see Barrios in there too, man. They gonna be like, "Yo, let me check this fight out." So I feel like it's a good move for him, even though it's a 46-year-old washed up Manny. But I feel like that old man strength kicks in the 40s, man. That shit's serious. Now I seen some recent bag work from Pacquiao, man. He was hitting that shit pretty hard, man. Um, so I feel like it's gonna be a great fight. July 19th. I don't know who's gonna win, man. I gotta see what Pacquiao got left in the tank, but I'm gonna have to favor Barrios on this. But yo, no doubt, yo, if he wins the belt, would he be the oldest champion, like older than George Foreman?
I think so, bro. That's what he's
Because George
46,
was,
bro. George was 40.
yeah. No, I thought George was
44?
45 when he got the title.
I thought 44. But maybe.
Or something
Damn,
like
that's
that. But Pacquiao's still older, man. So shit, he gonna make history right there, being the oldest champ. Um, but yeah, man, look, his old ass he's gonna take some punishment to give some punishment. But let's be real, the WBC is the most prestigious belt, man. And he picked the perfect belt with arguably, and this gonna sound disrespectful, but the weakest champ, man. Between him and Norman, would be the weakest champ because obviously, Boots got the two belts. He's got the Ring Magazine. He's considered the man of the division right here. So I feel like if anything, Pacquiao's got the biggest chance to beat this champion, who happens to have the most prestigious belt, man. So it's a good fight on Pacquiao part, and also Barrios for getting that bag, man. I don't see the hate, but I understand the hate, like him coming back and being ranked number 5. But the WBC been known for doing this type of shit, man. These the dudes that paved the way for the WBC, and they give them back, man. They put the WBC on the map when they was popping, man. When they was the biggest name in the sport. So I feel like this is just them
Damn.
giving back type shit.
George was 46 years old, 10 months, 15 days when he won the WBA and the IBF titles by knocking out Michael Moorer. Yo, Pacquiao ain't gonna be able to do that. That's legendary. I thought I
right.
thought
Yeah,
I thought Foreman was 40 and 44. Damn, he was 46. My man was on the brink of turning 47, bro. That's
Yeah.
yo,
wild.
and I didn't know it was a unification either. You're saying that was for 2 belts?
That's what it say here.
Yeah, he ain't gonna beat that, man. He gonna be in there at one of them old champs, but yeah, that's some legendary shit from George Foreman. But yo, that's all I got, champ. I'll keep listening.
Peace. Pacquiao about to get his ass whooped.
Or do what George did.
That would retire. Depending on the outcome for this,
Yeah,
they
man.
both retire.
Both belts was on the line, bro.
If
Heavyweights
Mario,
is different.
yeah. If Mario lose, he got to retire.
I mean, Pacquiao fight just had a son. Listen,
Yeah.
listen. Barrios is winning at life.
Facts.
Barrios is a multiple division champ. Barrios' wife is Omar Figueroa's sister. Barrios just had a baby. Barrios just got a Pacquiao fight. Man, y'all bet Barrios is good. He's good.
Look at this.
And he fought on Netflix. I forgot to mention that. That man is goody good.
Fought Tank, fought Keith Thurman, fought on Netflix, one of the biggest cards in boxing history. Now he's about to fight Manny Pacquiao. That resume looking wild. And he beat Ugas, right?
Yep, dropped him.
Oh, y'all got to put some respect on that Mario Barrio resume, man.
He said, "Damn, I ain't know that. Where you been at?" That's been his wife for a minute. It's Tito Voss, $10. Didn't Mario just have a baby? Yes. Let that man get his payday in Canelo voice. I'm supporting. We seen boxing do dumber things like share, subscribe. Salute, champ. Brambo, $2. Gary fights equals Turkey fights quality wise. Battle rap Rob. Yo, Tone, speaking of battle rap, have you heard of this dude called Rap Man?
Rap Man?
Yeah.
No.
I guess he's from the UK. I don't know if he legit is in rap, but that's his name. And I guess he's like the director or the writer of the series I'm watching. It's based in the UK called Supercell.
Oh, I've heard of Supercell. I heard
That
that's
shit
fun.
fueguillo. I binged that bitch last night. I mean, obviously I was sick. I'm still sitting. My nose sound crazy now.
30-minute episodes? 30 minutes?
It was like six. I don't know how long the episodes. That shit was fire though.
Damn, man. Ever since the last chick, 2 relationships ago, I haven't been able to watch TV, bro.
Wow.
I don't know. Like, that was just a narcissist whore. And like, I just can't watch TV for some reason. Like, I can't sit down and watch TV. I got to do something boxing oriented. I got to do something, bro. It's crazy. It's nasty out here. Fuck her, man.
Battle rap Rob, Mr. $2. Salute, my guy Tone. Welcome to work. Flexing emoji.
I'm in the building.
03 Dub, $2. We be crooks. Watch Ness defend his favorite crooked organization. Chico, $2. We have had fighters beat women, keep their belt. Say their name, bro. Say their name. You know who you talking about, sneak dissing. $5. We have had active champions hit and run pregnant women with a car, choke women in countless arrests, say bigoted things to the LGBTQ community. Hypocrisy. Chico back with another 5. Would the WBA give a guy in a 4-year retirement a top 5 ranking after that long layoff just because he was a legend like the WBC? He said no, but I disagree, bro. Like, I can see, granted, he's got actual facts to back his statement. What I mean by that is he denied Earl. When everybody thought he was going to approve Earl, he denied it. So he's got precedent to show, like, bro, this is what I do. I deny inactive fighters. But I'm still saying that's cap, bro. This is Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? The right promoter petition, Pacquiao. How you going to tell Pacquiao no? How you going to tell him no? I'm 46 like Foreman. I won more titles than Foreman. I went through more divisions. Like, bro, give me my shot to be great at 46, bro. Chico, $5. This legalese is comedy. The bylaws are subject to interpretation and leave legal loopholes for each body to change the rules on the fly. Exactly, like the infamous. Well, they put in a petition. We have to take it to the committee. We hear that all the time. I still like doing the interviews though. $10, Chico. Drop a bomb for Cheek. Go. King counters CYP. I bet his research on the WBO bylaws would cook these legal jargon the Prez is talking now. I guess he meant this legal jargon. Yeah, I mean, he was hitting us with a lot of legal stuff. Chico back with another 2. Dana, Turkey, and TKO will end these corrupt bodies. Adrien, $2. So what's the purpose of the rankings? Hey, man. They only work if you popular.
Hey, man, and I'm gonna say this, man. If you are not my Puerto Rican brothers, because y'all black, y'all got some black, but my Mexican brothers that be saying the N-word, that be saying nigga, y'all should be offended at what Tio said too. Like, we giving you a pass to say nigga, so you need to be riding with us too. You should be riding with the niggas. Don't get quiet now. You be saying nigga too, and this nigga let the ER fly. So you should be cooking that nigga too. If you a Mexican or Hispanic that say nigga, you need to be cooking TO too, bro. Cause y'all say the word too, nigga. Y'all need to be cooking TO too. That's crazy. Cause if TO would have disrespected any other group, some shit would happen. But when it comes to black people, it got to be, I need to watch the whole video. Nigga said liquor. That's nasty.
Yo, somebody had me double down. Like, yo, did you really say liquor? He walked that back like, nah. Let me get the whole video first. Yeah, man, shit crazy.
Nah, if you Mexican and you say nigga, I need you to be right at the motherfucking picket lines, nigga, over there getting whooped on by the police.
T.O., I just don't get it, bro. He could have been like Berlanga. He could have got a pass, but he using it so wrong. He wins.
Yeah, we not even offended. It's just corny.
Exactly. It's
corny.
Dumb. It's dumb. And I don't get why. And then Bub make you do the video where you say it's fake, and then you come back and you do it. Now you walk it back and call it liquor. Shit, weird. I don't get him. Bro.
That shit crazy, man. Damn, Regis Prograde said he'll rather retire than be just another opponent. He turns down the Adam Asman squabble. Lord child.
I mean, Adam Azim, that one. It's because dude is up and coming, you know what I'm saying? He'll want to be used as but that's where he at right now. Like, you got to do that. Everybody do that. Like, you got to be an up-and-coming prospect to get back on the top. That's how it is. Like, for instance, Edwin De Los Santos loses again to Keyshawn, and they throw him in with Abdullah. It's life and death. He got to win. And if he win, he back on top. He right back in the fight. But you got to win.
Yeah.
I'm dying right now. This shit crazy. Good thing this shit happened after the interview. What the fuck? Damn, so what that news broke about Adam Azim?
Right now on the Ring magazine. Also,
I don't know what you expect though. He should be happy that the UK sent him offers, bro. He lost to Jack Catterall.
Right.
He beat that other UK dude, right? Like Tyler McKenna. He should be happy that they rocking with him. They sent him offers. Like, ain't no American sending him no offer. What the fuck? I'm telling you, boy, motherfuckers be crazy.
Hey, man. He said, I'd rather retire than just be an opponent. You about to, what's it called, gatekeeper? You about to gate me.
Well, gatekeeper's still, that's still like a admirable thing. It's journeyman where he gonna feel disrespected because he was a former world champ. So if you're a former world champ and you drop down to journeyman status, yeah, motherfuckers gonna be telling you to retire like they tell Roy to retire. But as a former world champ on gatekeeper, like what the fuck you think Sean Porter is right now if he come back? He gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper.
The younger welter, the Brian Nobis and the Rohan Polancos, they want a shot at Porter for his name. And he hold the gate to a world title. If Polanco beats a Porter, he gets a world title.
That's true.
I think that this is the lack of education in boxing. You know what I'm saying? We were brought up to believe that gatekeeper and journeyman were bad phrases instead of being educated on what they are. They part of the sport. You need them dudes. That's why, again, UK love boxing more than us. They got motherfuckers over there with 110 losses still be fighting. They commission don't throw them away. Did you see that? Over here, you can't even get approved. You got that many losses. Motherfucker like, nah, pack it up, bro. You done. It's over for you. Over there, bro, they letting you rock out. As them motherfuckers be having 110 losses and only be stopped like 2 times, bro. They be durable. They bring them in there to test their young prospects. Those are journeymen. We need them. Not everybody has the big promoter to set it up. Like, look at Albert Bell. He had to fight hella journeyman.
Oh yeah, he did. They
And
damn.
Mercado fought, quote unquote gatekeepers. To be real, he fought the Velezes and the Naka. Like, look, that's what I'm saying. Some motherfuckers get love, some don't. Abdullah getting praised for fighting Nagatilia. Man, fucking Tito Mercado did that shit like 3 years ago.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, man.
And Matchroom Nasty, they out here promoting that he fighting on this June card.
Yo, top of the morning, fellas.
Bro, you got hella feedback.
I'm in the car.
You
That's
can't
why.
ask us no questions.
Work with me, bro. Yo, Two-Tone, man, that was a good panel last night, bro. I was trying to jump on, but I had no audio. I want to say something as a resident T.O. fan, man. I'm very disappointed with him, man. It's like he ruined his whole momentum. He's the one that did the build-up for the Times Square card, right? And then he pimp-slapped Arnold Barboza and got the approval of the culture. The culture was riding with T.O. again, especially they appreciated how he pimp-slapped Barboza, right? And then he's out there taking videos, dancing salsa with A1 yams. And then he puts up a masterclass, the best performance of the night. And then he turns around and did what he did, bro. I'm very disappointed, bro. He should have just he should just carry himself the way he did when he was a prospect. He was laid back and cocky, and that was it. You know what I mean? But I'm still going to root for him. Why not? I rooted for Mike Tyson after he raped that girl. I still listen to R. Kelly, right? So for real, I'm still going to root for T.O. I just got to pull him up on the bullshit. Just say, if you're my man and you do something out of pocket, I'm going to pull you up on it. You still my boy, but I'm going to tell you, dog, you was out of pocket, my nigga. So T.O.'s going to have to just let time. He's going to have to let time heal himself. From what I noticed with him, he always gets forgiven at the end of the day. He just got to let time heal himself, man. What he needs to do is what Ness wanted Ryan to do. He needs to go on the Slick Black Fighter Tour. Being that he can't get Boots in the ring with him, he should take the Keyshawn Davis fight. Beat up on Keyshawn Davis, and then they're going to throw Devin Haney at him, or probably Hitchens. Beat up one of those, because the truth is, the only black fighters that could beat T.O., in my opinion, is Boots Ennis and Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I got him beating everybody else around his weight class. So make that reputation. Do like Mikey Garcia did. Beat up on the Bob Billion squad, and that's how he got the Earl fight. Maybe Tio got to go beat up on Keyshawn Davis on the Canelo undercard. That'll be great, because Canelo's fighting Bud. Tio could fight Keyshawn. They're both with Bo Mac. Tio could reconcile things with Reynoso. Now we got a mega card. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that there's no racial tension, because even though boxing is a tribalistic sport, there shouldn't be no hatred and animosity within, the different cultures in the sport. You know what I mean? As far as Manny Pacquiao, this is an opportunity to actually add more to Manny Pacquiao's legacy. If he could beat Barrios at 46 years old, shit, that'll put him even higher on the all-time great list. Because I already got Manny on the all-time great top 10. And I could see him beating Barrios if he's in shape. Because Barrios had trouble with Javante, who was a small, fast, explosive southpaw. I could see Manny Pacquiao doing the same thing, but in that last fight he had against the Chinese guy, the what do you call that shit? Exhibition. He ain't look too good, man. He ain't look too good at all, bro.
Right.
And the two trouble. Yo, dog. Thank God you don't gotta put that empty cup on the raffle list, man.
I know, right?
Two-Tone is free, man. All we gotta do now is bring back my boy Musty Marco, and we got a whole squad, man. That's my call.
Salute. Hey, shout out Raquel Miller, man. How come we can't get that queen some squabbles out here, man? What's going on out here? And that's Raquel Miller. She marketable.
She don't have a promoter. She don't got a big promoter. She never did. She like Albert Bell. She like the Albert Bell women's boxing.
Damn. Clarissa don't say her name or what?
Clarissa sent her an offer, allegedly, according to Clarissa. Gavin Goins, $5, quote, I referred to the rules, then determine ruling on if that rule will be ruled, end quote. Faced with rolling eyes, faced with tears of joy. We got Bob Wick $2 summary. WBO full of poop emoji, laughing out loud. Hector Bermudez, $5. Rohan Polanco beat a WBO ranked 10th by second round KO. Why wouldn't he be higher than 10? Shout out to the coach. I didn't even notice that was Rohan's coach. Young, too cold member for 16 months on that chip level. Barrios gotta be the luckiest B-side ever. Hey, listen, it pays to be Mexican in boxing. We all know that shit. Keenan Lofton, $5. Ness, you gotta watch the show Mobland, starring Tom Hardy. Pierce Brosnan, 1010 Irish Gangster series produced by Guy Ritchie. Just came out. We'll see. I definitely enjoyed Supercell. And that shit had all them UK voices, but I was all right with it. It was not bad at all.
Salute Sleeper Cell, man. Yeah, man. Get Raquel Miller in the ring. Big box in Detroit. You need to be a promoter, bro.
She from like the Bay or some shit, ain't she?
I don't know. Big Baby Miller just left Salida.
Finally. How you know?
Yeah.
He said it or did the Ring post it?
Ring Magazine News.
Good for him, bro. I wouldn't put it past that being the issue why the Wardley fight didn't happen. You know, when he found out how much he had to give Salida, he probably was like, man, fuck that. I ain't taking a fight. Because I know they still in Thailand. Coach text me, he's still in Thailand. Lake County, $2. It ain't no quote-unquote gatekeepers, only stepping stones. The Pullout Bandit, $5. Oscar said, ready to make history at PBC. Any clue what's coming? Hell no, man. Tired of motherfuckers always teasing. Boxing full of teasers. Shit weird. Philly Auto, $2. Name 3 Honduran people relevant to society.
You said name what?
3 Honduran people relevant to society.
I don't know. But Tio didn't even say that he was full. He said he's not even full Honduran. I thought he was like full Honduran.
How he not full Honduran? So what he mixed with?
I don't know. He was on his live. He said, I'm not even full Honduran. So I'm like, oh, so you really just letting the N-word fly. And like, y'all got to stop, man. Every other race, y'all be like, oh, y'all just need to get over it. Man, you don't tell my Jewish brothers to get over the Holocaust. Y'all do that? Y'all run telling Jewish people, oh, you just need to get over the Holocaust. No, you don't. Stop, man. Let us do what we do, man. Let us do what we do, man. Respectfully.
We got Treese.
Yow.
Yo.
What up, though? What up, though? Hey, man. Y'all know me, man. I'm into this Pacquiao shit. First off, I do want to say shout out to Mr. Olivetti, however you say Olivetti. I know it's an extra I in there like Ness said. Shout out to gang, though. We appreciate that interview, man. I'm happy I asked him that Parker and Dubois question as well, because that lets me know that my guy Albert Bill don't stand a chance. You feel me? If that's how they getting down at the heavyweight division, ain't that, hey, two-tone, ain't that what they call that? The glamour division of boxing, right? That's the one. Boxing goes as the heavyweight division goes. If they doing motherfuckers wrong like Parker up there, you feel me? I know my guy Albert Bill don't stand a chance. So shout out to Mr. Olivetti. We appreciate that. I got some, you feel me, some clarity now. It all makes sense. You see me? But with this Pacquiao shit, man, y'all know how I'm getting down, man. Shout out. Ness been trying to talk bad and burn bread on the real niggas like it's my fault, talking about somebody done spoke this into existence. Why would you say that, Ness? What you mean, man? This could have been Devin. Instead of Devin being out there doing shit that he had no business, you feel me, with Ryan and whatnot. Hey, Devin, this could have been you, man. You could have been on the grand stage with Pacquiao.
Reese, Devin just got ranked number 1 in the WBC. This is next.
Look at that. Look at that. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you, man. If Pacquiao win this belt, don't let Devin. If Devin double back to the Pacquiao fight, I'm gonna say it's all fuck it. It's all good in the hood because I guess you feel me. You found a way to get both of those bags. You got the Ryan bag and you're gonna pick up the Pacquiao bag if possible. I can't even be mad at you, gang. I wouldn't even be mad at you. But by the way, so all you hating ass niggas who been calling in and disrespecting motherfucking Pacquiao, acting like my man not a legend, acting like he don't got no motherfucking chance in the fight. Y'all do realize that the nigga Barrios didn't win his last fight, right? Y'all do realize that shit, right? Technically, that shit, like it was a draw. Exactly. He fought Ramos, Abel Ramos. The shit was a draw. Man didn't even win his last fight, and he got put on his pockets. You hear me? I think Pacquiao got a chance like a motherfucker. You know who I'm picking the old man. Hey, Ness, man, you been talking that shit, but I'm 2-0 with the old guys. Shout out to my nigga Pulev and shout out Badu Jack. We 2-0 with the old guys, man. I got faith in old Pacquiao. I think he can get it done. Real legendary status, man. But hey, man, Albert Bell. I hope you heard the bullshit that man had to spew. You feel me? Like it's crazy how it's like we think that Charlie Suarez is a more worthy challenger than you, gang. I found that to be so crazy. My man talking about regional belts and all this shit, but Charlie Suarez ain't had one of them. You feel me? I know a guy who do though. But hey, man, like I say, fuck it, we at 135 now. And that's just how it's got to go. But shout out TBV and shout out to
Champ, you gotta get with them, and they gotta just do a better job, man. At the end of the day, we could beat the drum for Albert Bell, but he gonna have to fight somebody that's considered ranked. Nothing else works, bro. Lake County, $2. Dr. Sebi was Honduran. His work lasts forever. James Benitez.
What's up, Ness? What's up, Tom? What's happening?
What up?
What up? What up?
Ain't shit. Just another long day. I mean, look, bro, I've been definitely trying to fight people, man. He already tried to fight Shakur, and then we see people like, Keyshawn and all them other guys try to duck him and shit like that. So Albert Bell ain't never gonna get the opportunity, man. He's just gonna be a notable name, just a notable black name fighter from Ohio. Trees might be on to something, man. Like, he was already trying to speak to existence of Robert Guerrero and Boots Ennis. And like we see what Booth's next fight going to be. So, and I really don't think they're going to really try to make the Brian Norman. So, we'll see, man. Robert Guerrero may eventually step in the ring with Boots Ennis as well. But Pacquiao does have a fair shot in this. I mean, all his experience with drug usage and this, that, and the third, and he been like really out the ring. So he probably been getting a good cycle going on. So July 19th, that probably will be a movie. Pacquiao may fuck around and take that belt. But that's neither here nor there. Also, I really do think that the PBC and Golden Boy is going to go ahead and give us a fight that we do want, man. I think we are probably going to get that Virgil Ortiz and Jamel Charlo. I think that's the fight that we should be clamoring for to speak to existence. Also, Ness, man, I wanted to say something. You was right about something, though, man. You was right about something. Your boy fucked up again, but it is what it is, man. But I would give you that credit right there. Hey, man. Hey, everybody in the community, man.
Again? I'm lost, bro. What?
Nah, you know me, man. Look, man, just remove don't remove them facial scans off your phone. Remove that shit, man. That's all I'm saying, bro. Remove that off your phone and everything like that. So nobody can goddamn hop in your shit. But Ness, as always, shout out to you.
Wait. You hear this, Toe?
Hey, Ness, as
that
always.
Shit went nah. You know you want to talk about. That's why you brought it up. That shit went over our head. That shit went over our head, Tone. He said I was right. That girl that was sending all the little coffees and shit.
Yeah.
She must have took a picture of his face or made a mask and got into his phone.
Scan that shit while I sleep. Scan my face while I sleep.
Wait, she opened your phone. Hold on, with the face recognition?
That shit, you could do it when you sleep?
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah,
nigga.
Wait, so you was in there dirt bagging?
Come on, you see my old work. Come on, bro.
She was the one that you was out there living foul with Al. That's wild.
Yo.
Oh, shit, crazy,
She
man.
was sending him good morning texts and little coffees. That's
Hey, man.
crazy, man.
We just don't know how to. We just don't know how to receive love, bro. She was paying for shit, bro. That's rarity in this game,
I
bro.
told him something was up though. You can't be that nice, bro. Something was up. She was trying to go through his things, man. You never know. Probably a
Shit,
little thief.
she had to check her investment.
Make sure she ain't cash app herself for all them coffees back.
That's the first thing I checked.
Yeah,
The first
check
thing I
her
checked was
investment.
Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal. You funny as shit, but yeah, I checked that.
Damn, man. Y'all gotta stop about.
Yeah,
Y'all gotta stop cheating
I'm
out
getting.
here, man.
Hey, nah, I'm about to get me a brick phone, bro. I'm about to get me an old brick phone. So,
Bruh,
hey,
you
I'm
ain't
about to
got
go
to.
throw
You
this
change. You
iPhone.
trying to change the phone? You change.
Man, shout out to you. Shout out to the community as always. I'll catch you on the next one, Ness. Y'all be cool, man.
All right.
I'm like, damn, where the queens that's done with outside? Which one of y'all is retired? I need the queens that's retired from outside that just want to stay in the crib and binge watch Netflix. Where them hoes at? Y'all be 40 plus still want to be outside talking about, oh, you gotta live it up. No, you live it up out there getting one and done, nigga. Niggas getting one and done out here. Roxy Diaz. Lord child. Oh yeah. In other ring news, Canelo fight possible for Suarez if he beats Berlanga on Ring's July 12th card, says Frank Warren. Told y'all, man.
Talk about Murder Inc. That just establishes a darker, deeper criminal link.
My guy
Bruh,
Edgar.
but we knew to play. We knew to play. That's what I said. This a Turkey Al-Sheikh boy on a Turkey Al-Sheikh card. Edgar's back is against the wall, but we about to break this dude. This dude's too thin. But let me get to.
Nigga said they in the child support line. God damn. Damn, that nigga Jay, she went through Jay's phone.
It don't matter who it is. If I get anybody hurt, they getting out of there. They not getting out that round or that fight. Period.
Because I know for a fact that Boots could beat Crawford. I know for a fact that Boots could beat Spence. I know for a fact that Boots could beat Ugas, Pacquiao.
In your opinion, who is the best fighter at 147?
Me.
Everything Roy did, Boots do it better. Everything Mayweather did, he do it better.
SDS Promotions.
Lines.
Hey, Ness.
What up, Chad?
Hey, Ness. Hey, man. Hey, thanks for the shout out, man. I didn't even know we still did those intros. I've been MIA for a long time.
We don't, but I feel like you deserve it, man. You had put in years of bigging up Boots,
nah, man.
You put years of bigging up Boots, and then boom, he's the man right now.
Yeah, you said you was choosing Boots over your wife. Didn't you say you was choosing Boots over your wife?
Yeah, bro. Hey, hold on. But before I get into this, Ness, I just want to say your new co-host. He wasn't around back when I used to call. Hey, he's fire. I like that dude. His name what? Two Tone or something like that. He's fire, man. He's the best one you've had so far. So I hope he sticks with the show. But I think yeah, for sure. I was listening to one of you guys' shows because I'm always back behind on, so I go into the podcast and listen to it. Anyway, they was talking about the whole Brian Norman and Boots thing. I just want to let y'all know this straight up, man. If Boots never fight again, his legacy is solidified, Ness. I've seen dudes miss work to watch Boots fight. I've missed work to watch Boots fight. Like, hey, Boots is fighting. I'm calling in. I don't care. Y'all can have this job, bro. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying, Ness, is no, I'm being serious, bro. Like, I'm being serious, man. Boots is like a holiday when he fights. But it was good to see what he did standing on this. But I knew that was going to happen regardless. I want him to move up to 54 and fight Virgil Ortiz because people saying he's ducking him, which we all know that's not true. He just wanted to clean up his side of the street. You know, he's done that. Now it's time to go up there and smash some dudes at 154 and nobody's touching him. I told you straight up, Ness, Boots can go from 47 to 168 with no problem whatsoever. Guaranteed. If them dudes at 147 wanted to fight him, I guarantee you he could undispute there, but it's fine. What's his name is messing with old Pacquiao. Pacquiao is washed and over the hill, so whatever. They can have those few little belts left over 147. We go to 54 undisputed. Then we move up to the next weight class undisputed. Like, dudes know, man. It's crazy because, hold on, this is how I was sitting with my wife and I looked over there when Boots last fight. I said, this is how you know Boots is nice. Shakur's daughter don't even go to his fights, but Shakur's daughter was at Boots' fight. Tell me that ain't Ness. I saw that and I was like, oh my goodness, man. Boots is really him. When you have your kids going to witness greatness, but your kids don't even come to your fights, that should tell you something, Ness. But hey, that's my call. I'm out, bro.
Yo, you hilarious. That's hilarious.
Salute.
He said when you got somebody else kids there, that's funny. Moose with the counter.
Moose. That's a real fan right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Boots, man. You know, Boots is the truth. You know, Boots is the best at 147. He's looking like a generational talent right now.
Whoa. Is it fair to say he the best without fighting Norman?
No, Norman is my favorite at 147, but Boots right now, he looking like he may be the best. You know, he can do it all. But Norman is my favorite fighter in all of boxing right now. But yeah, so, you know, and I got Norman in that fight, but also, you know, if Boots get him, I'm not surprised. You know, it can go either way. Boots got the ability to win, and I believe Brian Norman got the ability to win, but I do need to see some more things from Brian Norman Jr. Now, James, man, I'm sorry that happened to you, brother. You know, hey, you know that's on you. You know what I'm saying? It's adjustments that you can make to make sure shit like that don't happen. You know, and that's what's right. You know, she being super nice to you. You gotta be careful when they real nice like that, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not saying don't accept the love. I'm just saying you gotta have your antlers up, your antennas out. It's like, okay, I see what you're doing. Let me make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, and my name Moose, so you know I keep my antlers up.
Let's
go. Know what I'm saying? And I live in my van, so if you messing with me, you genuine, because I live in my van.
Do you got it converted? Do you got it converted?
Oh no, I'm not a comfortable kind of guy. I can lay on hardwood floor, no problem. So I don't need much comfort. You know what I'm saying? My shit just ain't nothing converted.
Bro, you got to get on YouTube. There's so many dope ass fucking DIY converted vans, bro. You got to check that shit out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. Somebody told me about that not too long ago.
Yeah, bro.
But
people do that shit all the time.
I ain't got much to say on the boxing tip, but I do think Manny Pacquiao gonna get the win. I'm hoping he get the win. You know.
Hey, Moose. Why Charles Remington said, how about them coloring books now, James?
Damn.
I forgot about them coloring books.
Damn.
But the inspiration for my call was actually what somebody said was there 3 Hondurans that's you know, that was any significance in his life. And I would have to say, I don't know 3, but I do know 1. That 1 made the biggest impact in my life. And that was Dr. Sabi. So rest in peace, Dr. Sabi. You know, salute to the brother. He had an interview one time and he said, once you clean the body out and you take that electric food, the natural food, the food that's been here since the beginning of time, whoever you are, and you know, this is not to knock anything or anyone. It's just what he said. He said, whoever you are is going to come out of you. You're not going to find it anywhere. It's going to come out of you. Nobody can tell you anything. And I did that, and I got my own vision and my own perception on life.
Moose, let me get back to you. I just got my new guest.
Yes, sir.
Adrien, what's going on, champ?
What's up, homie? How are you?
Oh, man, you know, grinding every day.
Two-Tone, how are you, bro?
What up, Kane?
Chilling, man. Good to see y'all.
So let's throw Two-Tone under the bus. This is his style, so we're going to throw him under the bus. He didn't like your press conference. He like, come on, Adrien out there with the white T-shirt. What else you say? Yeah, you forgot, huh? You forgot.
Damn.
Under the bus. Yeah, under the bus. Let's go.
Would you prefer I wore a suit? Would you prefer?
I wasn't even talking about your attire. I was just saying like
You did say
the
white
chair.
T-shirt. If you don't cut that
No,
bullshit,
say nothing about his
get him, chat.
attire.
Get him,
I like
chat.
ask the chat. I said I didn't like the chairs. I said that's all I said. I was like I didn't like the
Gotcha,
chairs.
gotcha. Yeah, we had to make a last minute adjustment with that. I didn't like the setup at all, but given what we stepped into and some miscommunications, we had to kind of just go with what we had. But yeah, I didn't like the chairs either, bro. But it'll get
See,
better. It'll get better next time.
but the biggest
Salute.
story is that you was able to re-sign uh, Brian Norman Jr. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, man. Thankfully, pleased with what we've done over the past 3 years, and him, Justin Paldo, Justin Figueroa, and we was hoping that Shariah Moreyu would. That's why I couldn't. You asked me about her when was she fighting, but she hadn't announced that she was pregnant, so it's like hopefully she'll be back soon. But that was our original four that we signed to start Fighters First 3 years ago. So we are honored to have three of the four back, and Shariah knows if she wants to come back and get it on, she has a home with Fighters First.
So what's the the vision for 2025 for Fighters First?
I mean, we're just tacking away, man, and I think the vision stays the same. Is we're just working in the best interest of the clients that we have, and me and you talked about this on the phone one day, bro. I don't hold fighters hostage. I come from the NBA world, and
Mm.
in NBA, NFL, you represent athletes. You don't sign them to 3 year or 5 year deals with extensions. If they wanna they wanna fire your ass, then that's what they do, and they move on to the next agent or whatever it may be. So, I work like that to where we're gonna do what we can to get you to where you want to be and try to keep you happy. But man, if you don't want to be with the company, then it's your career. You only got one of them, and we wish you well on your journey. But that's what it means so much to have guys like Brian who won a world title and essentially could have done what he wanted to do, and he decided to give us an opportunity to continue forward with him. Same with Paul Doe and Figueroa. So it just shows the strength of our company and how the guys trust Jolene and myself and how much we believe in them.
Speaking of Paul, though, man, tell me you was at least upset that Top Rank threw De Los Santos in there. I feel like Paldo deserved that shot more than the De Los
They are
Santos.
we're fighting the same day. So they when I think things fell apart, they reached out to offer the fight, and I think Justin did want the fight, but they got things right with Del Santos. So Justin has a fight coming up June 7th. He gets through that fight, which it's going to be a tough fight, but Justin is hell of a fighter. I'm sure that a Keyshawn Davis fight could be next. Who knows? But there was a very brief conversation about it, but I think they got everything together with the De Los Santos thing, and they went forward with it.
So it was more like a backup, like, hey, if we can't lock him in, we're gonna double back to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you didn't even notify Paldo of that, right? No sense in getting him excited for nothing, or you
No,
did?
no, of course, no, no. You got to tell your clients that shit because if they find out elsewhere, they looking at you like, shit, how the fuck you not gonna tell me something of that nature? So no,
Really?
no, you
Even if
gotta,
it's just a phone call?
oh
Yeah,
no,
bro.
we don't, we gotta let them. You gotta let them know, man. If you don't let them know, then shit, that's your ass. That's how people get fired, man. So no, you gotta let your guys know it's their career, so you gotta let them know.
All right.
Yo, the
So
grill. I can't see it right now, but bro, I was watching Gustavo interview, man, in the group chat. The group, that shit was on fire, bro. They say some
yeah, they
hilarious
were they were trying
shit,
to
bro.
torch poor Gustavo. It's just the inconsistencies with all sanctioned bodies, man. But today I feel like Gustavo answered it best because he said essentially it's a popularity. It's a component that you have to factor in because of the networks. And that's all we
That's-
want is honesty. Because when we see a Leah Williams and a Valdez get a shot at an interim over a Bell and a Archie Sharp, you know, we know it's because Valdez is more popular, but they say it's not until today.
I'm proud of Gustavo, man. I've been knowing him since before he even got into boxing. Built a good relationship with him, man. So I'm extremely proud of Gustavo and where he's at and where he's going to take the WBO. So extremely proud of him.
I mean, your champ is also a WBO champ.
Yeah, he is, but that comment had nothing to do with that. Gustavo's my guy. I got mad love for him, man.
So Justin Powell is fighting a common opponent with Keyshawn Davis and Andy Cruz, right? In Burgos.
Believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good fight in San Antonio, man. Justin's gonna surprise a lot of people. He surprised people his last fight, knocking out that guy. But Justin's been a problem, but he's finally getting the opportunity to show his stuff, man. So I'm excited to see what he does in June.
Yeah, I like that fight. Not a bad fight. I will hope he gets that stoppage, but Burgos is a tough character. Nobody's
Yeah,
ever stopped him.
never stopped him. Never stopped
Yeah, I
him,
know.
right?
I know. He's a tough character. So obviously we need to shift to Brian Norman. That's what everybody wants to talk about. Why no Boots fight and why go to Japan?
Oh man, that Japan offer was lovely. So it came up. I watched a little bit of Brian Norman Senior's interview with you guys um, yesterday. The offer from Eddie came in. I think it was last week. It was which they've already been in Big Bear training for Sasaki. So it's like we're not gonna pull out of a fight to take another fight. And from a negotiation standpoint, it's like I'm not gonna agree to something right now when I know he's gonna look spectacular June the 19th. So we can pick up negotiations after that fight to look to make the Boots fight happen. And to me, it's simple, man. I'm the whole doing the interview and saying that, oh, I sent the offer. He loves making negotiations public. I guess that's a new thing now. It used to not be a thing, but from my standpoint, man, it boils down to dollars and cents. Like Eddie can save the words, saying Brian needs to be ambitious and chase greatness and all that shit, bro. This is boiling down to dollars and cents. Let's get that right, and then they can fight. But if the number's not going to be right, bro, then we're wasting a lot of time and wasting a lot of words. And we did that shit the last negotiation. So let's just get the number right, and they can get it on.
It's a bit, I guess, a bit saddening to hear that the number isn't right yet, because it sounds like Boots gave $300,000 more to Stanionis, which was the $300,000 more that you guys wanted. So, is it that your number changed?
I mean, I think about, and this is from a business standpoint. The negotiations for the last fight started. I think they started at like 750. That was the initial offer, like 750,000. And again, the only reason why I'm talking about these numbers is because Eddie Hearn put the number out there. I'd like to try to keep as much as my client's business's numbers like private. I hate that it's a lot of pocket counting going on, but the first negotiation they offered initially $750,000, and from 750 it got all the way up to 1.7 before Matchroom was like pretty much like fuck you guys and walked away from the negotiation. But from my standpoint, I'm looking at it like, damn, went from 750,000 to 1.7. That's how far the negotiation stretched out. So in my mind, I'm thinking about numbers moving forward. And the saying is yesterday's price is not today's price. So Brian beat Cuevas. Brian's gonna get a nice amount of money to go beat Jen Sasaki. Y'all can't, and I say y'all meaning their side. I don't want to hear any more about, oh well, his fight against Santiago, he made $100,000. He wasn't the champion that fight. Went in and beat a guy and became the champion, and then now he beat Cuevas. It's like you can't keep moving the goalposts on like how the negotiation is gonna go essentially. So 1.7 is where y'all walked away at. I'm not saying we're gonna pick up there, but make a strong offer, man. Like let's stop with the challenging of who should chase greatness or whatever. Man, let's get down to the nitty of it. Let's get down to the numbers. We already the deal is the deal. Jerron Ennis sells in Philadelphia. We're not trying to say let's take the fight to Atlanta or let's move it to Vegas. We understand the deal. They're fighting for all their belts. They're fighting at 147, and the fight is in Philadelphia. Brian is okay with that. So the deal is the deal. Now we just need the money to be where we need it to be, and like that's that. So enough with the words. Let's talk numerals. Let's talk
Now,
numbers.
just to play devil's advocate, why hasn't Top Rank offered Boots the fight? Like, why don't you guys want that fight on ESPN? Why
Well,
don't you
that's
want to
a
host the fight?
that's a Bob Arum, Carl Moretti, Brad Jacobs question. Adrien Clark is the CEO of Fighters First Management. So I represent Brian Norman Jr. I don't represent Bob Arum or those guys. So you would have to
But
ask
that's
that
your
question to
promoter,
them.
though. You have them signed
Well,
to there, and their best. They're supposed to do their best interest for Brian Norman, right? Right. Like, you're the manager, but essentially they're the promoter. What is their
agreed.
job?
Agreed, and they've done a great job to promote Brian Norman Jr. in the 3 years. 3 years ago, hell, probably longer. Y'all didn't know who Brian Norman Jr. was. So for him to get to this point in his career, and now he's going international, Top Rank has done a stellar job. Hell, a lot of people were not high on Brian Norman Jr. after the Boca Chica fight, where he got knocked down, and then it became a no contest. So he's been written off from so many different angles. So I'm not gonna discredit our promotional company or Brian's promotional company. They've done a stellar job, but why they have not offered Jerron Ennis, I can't answer that. I don't know.
Business wise, would it is it better to marinate that fight, being that the money has just like entered the division, like Barrios and Pacquiao? Let's say Pacquiao wins. Brian Norman fights Manny Pacquiao. He's crossed over. Ryan Garcia's in the division now. Devin the Dream Haney's in the division now. There's a lot of money fights in there. Do you think business wise is better to marinate the Boots fight and pick up the mother bags?
You know, I deal with Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Jr. They're both one of the same. So, Senior is definitely going to be on our ass to make the Jerron in this fight. That's something that they both have echoed that they want to do. So business is in the way at this point, and I think Eddie knows that, and the fighters want to fight. So you ask Jerron Ennis, does he want to fight Brian Norman Jr.? Yeah, he does. And you ask Brian Norman the same question, they want to fight each other, but that's the sport of it. In regards to the business side, man, there's a lot of shit that needs to be handled. And again, from what I'm hired to do and what I've been doing for the past 15 years, I'm looking at that 750,000 to 1.7. How did negotiation went? And I'm like, oh, there's a lot more money on the table. So I'm gonna get my client the best deal possible. I know the fans don't like it, and it's like, oh well, you should have just took 1.7. Shit, I believe in my client. So why take 1.7 when we negotiated up that high? I believe in Brian to go beat a Cuevas or to go beat a Jen Sasaki overseas. Like, go do those like things, and then come on back. And yes, negotiation is war, man, but it's also the point of kind of playing chess and being smart. And I think we went about this the right way, and I think we'll come out on top once the fight actually happens and everybody's happy.
Or grab that WBC belt. Now it's a different type of bag for undisputed.
Well, I mean, listen, there's like you said, man, there's a lot of money in the division, but um, I think the draw in this fight makes sense. But again, that's why, I get what Eddie Hearn, what he did is not like unheard of. We actually did it when Willie Monroe fought Gabe Rosado. He was the co-main event to, I think, Canelo and Liam Smith, I believe. The way we negotiated that deal for Willie, like Willie, of course, was fighting Gabe, but the winner, we before the fight even happened, we negotiated the winner of the Gabe Rosado Willie Monroe fight will fight the winner of Canelo and Liam Smith, which, everybody wants Canelo. So we had already negotiated beforehand, but Willie wasn't a champion. Willie needed the shot against Canelo. So it's like we had to kind of accept all of the terms, and it really wasn't a strong back and forth negotiation because we really had no leverage. We were getting an opportunity to fight Gabe on Canelo's undercard. So we signed it, excuse me, sorry, before everything went down. But like Brian is not in the same situation as Willie Monroe. He does have leverage, and he's got his weight up essentially to where he's winning fights. He's going to go fight internationally. So there is money in the division and coming in the division, but I want to see what the best offers are and what the best fights are. But I know Brian Norman Sr. and Jr. both want to fight Jerron Ennis. So we're going to do what we're told as a management company after he puts away Jen Sasaki, and We're going to do what the Normans tell us to do, and that's Jerron Ennis to get the fight done. Then that's what we're going to do. But Eddie has to do his part also.
So your protect yourself at all times initiative, and you got the boxing manager certificate course. These are things that you built that aim to shield fighters from boxing's shady business. So what I want is for you to give me a real life story without naming any names where these two programs could have financially or contractually exploited and or protected the fighter. If I said that right.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
no, you did. I'm trying to make sure that I mean, I can use a name like when with protect yourself at all times. Like with De La Rosa was supposed to fight David Lemieux. Um, Again, and remind you, man, I'm young in the business at that time. I'm 38 right now. I started when I was 23 years old, and I think that fight with Lemieux and De La Rosa, I'm young. I'm in my 20s, man. So I'm learning on the fly, trying not to make a mistake. But you know, Lemieux was a heavy puncher. Like Lemieux was putting dudes out. You know, he put out Curtis Stevens. It's like it was a scary fight to take, especially over in his hometown. But James De La Rosa was game. We take the fight, and the fight is for like $50,000. And Camille was like, "Man, I promise that's all I can get you. Like, I'm sorry." James wanted to run the fight. We get there, and Lemieux was overweight. He's like 4 pounds overweight, and he doesn't even look to rehydrate. He doesn't look to like go lose the pounds. He's rehydrating at the scale. Like once he steps off, and I'm like, wait a minute, like what's going on or whatever. So he's like, yeah, don't be scared. Like take the fight. You know what I'm saying I'm gonna put him out. I'm like, wait a minute, now he's overweight. How much money did he make? Like, what percentage are we getting of? They wouldn't tell us anything. The commission wouldn't tell me anything. Camille wouldn't tell me anything. So it looked like a setup essentially. Like we walked into the lion's den, and now the lion is kind of doing whatever he wants. He's hydrated to crazy weight, and he didn't make the weight. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, like my client is here, his wife is here. My ex-wife was there at the time. His dad was there, and I'm like, shit. Like, what do we do? So there's chaos going on in the casino, man. Everybody's wondering, what's going to happen? Is the fight going to happen or not? Rob Diaz from Golden Boy Promotions was there, along with Bernard Hopkins, and Rob was like, "Yo, just remember, you on this whole protect yourself at all times situation. This is opportunity right now where you got to protect your client. What you do from here is going to really dictate, you know what I'm saying, your reputation moving forward." I told James and his coach to go back to the hotel. I made it like, fuck it, ain't gonna be no fight. Like, go back to the hotel. So Camille was just talking shit. Like, mind you, I'm young, bro. This dude talking about I'm gonna sue you, all this shit or whatever. And at the moment, he's doing interviews. And I'm like, bro, you know what? Fuck, I'm going back to the hotel. If they really want to make this fight happen, like, they come back to the hotel and talk. They came back to the hotel, and to save my ass, I made sure that James, his dad, his wife, his coach, everybody was in this conference room, and Camille brought his people or whatever it may be. And we're going back and forth, all like, y'all violated, who violated, all X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, what are we gonna do to make this fight happen? And he was like, I'll give you 55,000, 55,000 to make this happen, like 5,000 to make the fight happen or whatever. And I'm like, bro, like this is the number that we're looking for. I think I went high because I knew it was gonna be a negotiation. I'm like, man, give us 125 to make the fight happen. And he was like 125, started laughing, and then he gets up, walks out of the room. His people walk out with him. We got a report that there's no fight or whatever. But from my standpoint, if I would have been like, yeah, James, like, what I'm saying, even though I needed that money during that time, I needed that managerial percentage, bro, especially going back home. But if James would have went in that ring, bro, and we would have accepted $55,000, and he got brutally knocked out in the hospital, or God forbid died against David Lemieux, and I'm the guy that pulled the trigger on accepting $55,000, his wife, his dad, everybody's looking at me like, yo, this negligent ass manager that he had, this young ass manager who shouldn't even be in the business, he's the one that fucked this whole thing off. Like that was a moment to where I'm like, all right, we're going home with no money, with no fight, but at least my client to this day, man, James still hit me up, check on me, vice versa. But I know the respect is there because it's like, yo, like he didn't sell me off to the wolves. He brought me into the negotiation room. I heard the bullshit that was going on, and like James was able to make a decision right then and there, and we collectively walked like they walked away first, of course, but we collectively were cool with what happened. So that's kind of both, bro, with one, protect yourself at all times. The fighters knowing and learning about the business, but then on the other side of it, like, bro, I came into this shit blind, man. I had to learn on the fly. I was literally like 6 months removed from college to when I started representing fighters. And I'll be honest, bro, this shit, it has not been easy, especially having to learn on the fly. I didn't have a mentor, somebody to hold my hand, tell me what to do and what not to do.
Wait,
You
wait,
literally learn
wait.
this.
I thought you had
But
James Prince as your mentor.
Jay Prince, me and Jay Prince didn't get cool until I sold my company to Ballinger Group. So that was 2019. I came into the game in 2010. So 9 years later, I get cool with Jay Prince. He kind of take me under his wing. So I learned a lot from him, but it was 9 years later. You know what I'm saying? My learning curve was damn near over with by that time. I had already started helping out guys like Errol Spence, Jarrell Big Baby Miller, Willie Monroe. So I'd already had skin in the game, but in my early years, that was nobody that was there to help. I met with Cameron Duncan once, like RIP to Cameron Duncan, but like I didn't really get any info from him. He was trying to see who I represented. So the course is important for people that want to get into the business that's in the likes of myself, or you young, you love the sport, you want to get in it, but ain't nobody opening the door and like, here, let me guide you and navigate you through this shit. That don't happen. You know what I'm saying? I think Roy Egglebright had Fight Promoter U, but Roy's known as a promoter in the game, not a manager. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great course. I believe that Fight Promoter U is great, but in regards to what I teach at the Boxing Manager Certificate, it's actually the ins and outs of what you need to know and can hit the ground running as a boxing manager, man. That's important, and it's something that has not been around. It wasn't around when I started, and I hope that, like, people have signed up for the course, but like my man Paul Garino that had Cordell Booker, like PG, like me, young in the game, man, but him taking the course and giving me some good feedback on it, like that meant a lot to me, man. So it's needed. The education is needed
Shout
from the
out
fighters
Paul,
standpoint to
man.
the boxers. PG, my dude, man, he good
Yeah,
dude, but
because he
education.
did his thing with he's done his thing time and time again with Cordell, bro.
Bro, like that's what I'm saying, but we need younger managers in the game. Like I'm saying, Frank Espinosa, Jay Prince, Al Heyman, those are older guys now, man. We need new blood, younger blood in the sport of boxing, and guys need to be educated on what they're getting into, not just getting into this shit, learning on the fly. I was a lucky one to get in and learn it. You know what I'm saying, and able to be in it 15 years, and what I'm saying, make some money from the sport. But we need younger guys to get in and help navigate these guys.
To be clear, they did not pick up where they left off with the last offer that they sent you last week. They being Eddie. They didn't send another offer for 1.7.
um, he sent another offer. It was slightly above that number, but
Okay.
a negotiation is going to have to happen. And he sent the offer, like I said, last week. We're not going to pull out of a fight or agree
Legally,
to a
can
fight.
you do that though? Because Brian didn't answer that. He took the whole like, man, we're not pulling
No,
out of nothing. But legally, are you
I mean,
entitled to pull out the fight?
there'll be. I mean, there'll be. I'm pretty sure, especially with Mr. Honda. Mr. Honda's a powerful man. I'm pretty sure there'll be some ramifications there, and it could be a legal battle. You'll have to really, our attorney is Steve Bash. Like Steve will be able to tell you better than I can, but I would believe that we can't sign that contract that's been executed and then be like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to take this unification bout. I'm pretty sure Mr. Honda would not be happy with that, and I'm pretty sure that there will be some type of legal ramifications because fight was already signed off on, and camp
I
had
know
already
it
started.
sounds
So
obvious, but I need that out there because the internet doesn't understand. Like, you know what I mean? So it's better for you to say yes. There would be legal ramifications, which you have.
nah, nah, nah. I ain't gonna gas it just for the fans to run with. I know a lot of people that do that shit, but just being real, I said the fight was already. Even if we could have done it, it wouldn't have. He had already been sparring and preparing for Jin Sasaki, so it wouldn't have made sense on his part to just be like, okay, what, like the fight is going to be in the fall or whatever. Let me just cancel this money, which is a huge payday for him and a huge opportunity. Let me just cancel this to wait for that. It's like no, like you can do both, and that's what he's going to do.
So you work with stars like Earl Spence, Jarrell Miller, but you also guided the careers of guys like Jerry Belmontes to title shots as a rookie manager. What was the toughest lesson you learned early about managing fighters and their egos, their expectations, and how do you apply that today for fighters first?
Ooh, man, the toughest lesson is when that Lou Mezzarana, old manager in the game. God rest his soul. He's passed away now. Lou used to manage Jerry Belmontes, and I thought Lou hated me for years. But I heard it from Lou, and I heard it from Don King, and Don was telling me, don't fall in love with the fighters. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall in love with the fighters. But being a younger guy, and Jerry and I were like the same age when I was managing him, they become family and they become friends, and you become close with them and their families. So the uh, they're just one of them. Difficult lessons is keeping that separation of business and friendship. Very difficult to do because sometimes they hear their friend, not their representative, or vice versa. Sometimes they're hearing their friend, or their representative and not their friend, essentially. But that's one of the most difficult things that I've had to navigate. Building great relationships and friendships with these fighters, and then sometimes you get fired or they do what's best for them and they go another direction. And for me, the friendship is still there. Sometimes I don't like, guys deciding that they don't want the representation anymore. They want to try it elsewhere. But that's one of the lessons that you have to learn, and it's hard to do it. Some people have been taken advantage of financially. Some managers lead with their money, and then they think they build a friendship with the fighters. Then the fighters want to do what's best for them, and then the people are looking, oh, well, I gave you all of this, I did all of this, and it's like, yeah, you did, but you didn't have to. It wasn't something that it was mandatory for you to do. But that's one of the most difficult things for me in the business because I built a great relationship with these guys. So towing that line and making sure it's divided, it's pretty tough.
So Brian Norman's only 24, and he's already a world champion. What did that mean for you as a manager and as the CEO of Fighters First? Him being your youngest. Is he your youngest champion ever?
That's my
Are
first.
you
It's my
hoping?
first one. I've been
Oh
to
wow.
Jerry Belmontes and Omar Figueroa. That ended in a controversial split decision. I thought that was like I was 26 years old. I really thought we won that fight, man, and just it slipped away, and it was like damn. And then we had opportunity to get the rematch, and then Jerry lost a fight to Abner Cotto in his hometown of Corpus Christi, so that went away. And then we got back there a few years later with Willie Monroe and Billy Joe Saunders and lost that one. And then that was 2016, I believe. And it's like you don't get close to another one, and then all of a sudden this kid from Atlanta that Carl Moretti tells us about, walking into Brian Norman Sr.'s place of business, man, and getting him to believe in me and trust me to guide, I'm saying, his son from the level that he brought him to, it was just special. Like even after he won the title, I was trying to chase Brian Norman Sr. because Brian Norman Sr. was talking shit to the people in San Diego because it was Santiago's hometown. He was talking mad shit. He was in the entryway. I had to go get him to come back and celebrate with his son. I didn't even process that, we got our guy until Jolene was like we fucking did it. And I'm like, oh shit, like this was a title fight. So I don't really get caught up in moments too much, but that was a special one that I'll never forget, man.
That's definitely an amazing fight. That knockout of Giovanni Stantilium. Do you think that Norman damaged him? Do you see him the same?
I haven't watched him. I actually, we follow each other on IG, and I reached out to him after the fight, just to show respect or whatever. And there was a warrior, man. Like he took some big shots, and he kept getting up. I haven't watched him fight. I think he's fought twice since him and Brian fought. I know he's probably bothered. Like every fucking Brian Norman highlight is him. It's featuring him. So I know that probably makes him feel away, but for him to still come back from that and win two fights, and he's still trying to make a name, man. Like I'm pulling for Giovanni Santillan, man, and I hope that he's made a full recovery and that he gets another shot at a title because dude is a warrior.
Uh, you guided Norman from a 10-round prospect to a world champion in under 2 years, right? So, what was the biggest risk you had to take with that career to get him to where he's at? Whether that's a negotiation or another move that maybe people thought was crazy. How did that get Norman to where he's at today?
Oh, I mean and I don't think Brian even knows this story. He probably hear it for the first time now. the Boca Chica fight. You know, I think Jolene has started moving forward with the rematch for that fight, and I'm like, no, like for what? Like we're not chasing Boca Chica, so like there's no rematch. We're not doing a rematch of that fight. Top Rank is building Brian Norman Jr. to either be a world champion or see if he can be a contender or whatever. So it's like it was a no contest, and one thing I was proud of Brian of, he got knocked down in that fight, but to get up and win the next two rounds essentially showed that okay, he's able to get knocked down, keep his composure, get back up, and then go win rounds. Like that showed me a lot. But I'm like, bro, we don't need to see a rematch. Like we need to keep moving forward, and we really didn't know what was next because it wasn't like Top Rank just automatically offered Santillan. I just know, I'm like, bro, we're not doing a Boca Chica rematch. And no disrespect to Boca Chica, it's just we didn't sign him to Top Rank to chase an opponent, which I think Boca Chica is very good, but we're not here to chase him and give him another rematch. Like, no, let's keep moving forward and see what happens. And we were able to get the Santillan fight, and I'm like, bro, like he's gonna have to just get up like for this fight, and he's gonna have to go make some noise in San Diego or lose to an undefeated prospect they're trying to build up or whatever. But he need to be game. And they did training camp in Dallas. And when I watched him spar, and the more I talked to Brian Norman Sr., I'm like, oh yeah, he winning this fight. So we went into that Santillan fight with the mindset of he's winning this fucking fight. So it wasn't shocking that he won. It was more impressive from our standpoint of how he did it. But that was the one fight that a lot of people don't know about, that like they were working on a rematch. It's like, no, we're not doing no fucking rematch of Boca Chica. We're gonna move forward from there. And it was a good decision by all of us collectively.
I got a couple questions from the people here. Malcolm in New York says, you host your own boxing podcast and you pick two other people from boxing media, boxing content creators. Who you hosting with? You can't pick Ness.
I was about to say shit. I was about to say I pick you. Um, Showbiz is my guy. I've been knowing Showbiz for a long time. So Showbiz and what's the young lady's name from Top Rank? I can't think
Christina
of her name.
Bowser?
Yeah, I would go with those two. Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, you know her name?" Like yeah.
George Foster, is it true that Matchroom made another recent offer to fight Boots, and was it more than the previous one? You answered that.
Yeah, I answered
Future,
that already.
you wanted to add?
No, I said I answered that already.
Yeah. Uh, Dema from Dakar Senegal, is there any chance of Boots fight happening? From the outside looking in, it looks like the Normans is doing more to prevent it from happening.
No, like I think the Normans more than anybody want the fight to happen. It's all business at this point, shorty. So it's all dollars and cents. So it boils down to the good people at Matchroom and Eddie Hearn coming with an offer that makes sense in regards to the purse. As I said, we know what the deal is. The deal is the deal going to fight in Philly, but the numbers have to reflect that. So it's about numbers at this point.
Dre in San Diego, if you had an opportunity to put on a quote unquote in house card of fighters you've worked with throughout your career, who would you out against each other? I guess who would you put versus each other?
The main event will be Brian
Norman
Norman Jr.
and Earl
Go.
Spence.
Yeah, yeah. Be Brian Norman and Errol Spence will be the main event. Otto Wallen versus Gerald Big Baby Miller would be the co-main event. Um, Justin Pauldo and Jerry Belmontes will be on the card. That'll be a firefight. Um, and then yeah, I mean, even though it's only three fights, I don't want to just keep going down the list. But Justin Figueroa versus Willie Monroe at 160.
Oh
I
wow.
I think oh yeah, that would be Justin got put on his big boy pants for that because Willie gonna use that ring. But yeah, no, it'll be some great fights that'll be on the card if we had to do it in house.
Ali and Dago, Adrian, who are your top three favorite fighters of all time?
Oh, all time, despite our personal differences or whatever, Bernard Hopkins is up there. It's no particular order. But B Hop is up there. I love watching B Hop when I was in college. When I was fighting the amateurs in college, I just love watching B Hop. Got to have Floyd Mayweather on there. We used to always watch Floyd and argue about him. And then I'm biased because I've been a part of his career, but I've also watched the work from behind the scenes. But I definitely put Errol Spence Jr. up there with mine. Three favorite fighters.
Rod in L.A. If Earl Spence retired, or is he planning a comeback at 54?
Oh no, he's definitely not retired. If he was retired, he would have he would have said this shit already. So he's definitely not retired. And the other question, you just have to gotta wait and see.
What makes Brian Norman Jr. different from other champions you've worked with in the past? That was from RB the Baller.
RB, man, this dude is like, we captured him when he was like 21, 22. He's the oldest 20 something year old I've met. Dude is like he's been here before. His demeanor, the music that he listens to, the conversations that we have. He came to Dallas when I took him to Errol's house and we rode around, and he was talking to me about life, and I'm looking at this dude like, what the fuck? So his whole personality outside the ring. Brian Norman Sr. did an amazing job with his son, raising him to be not just a great champion or a great fighter, but dude is just different personality wise, man. So he's a pleasure to be around, but he's a lot older, mentally, IQ wise, intellectually, a lot older than 24 years old. Give me a tough one, man. Give me a tough. I know. Hey, I seen the group chat, bro. I seen the chat. They going in, so I can't
I'm
see it
reading
right
one by
now.
one. I
Okay, I
got
got you.
Quest MVA. He says, "What's up? Thanks for coming on. Take your time. Blind rank these shows. So it's 1 through 5. Power,
1,
Snowfall,
5. I didn't watch it.
BMF,
3,
Empire,
4,
The Wire."
2. Did I get that
Really?
right? Did I
Really?
get that
You
all the
won't
way?
change it? You won't put Wire at 1 and take Power out? Nah.
Nah, because I'll be honest, I didn't watch Wire like that. So it's like for
Oh.
me, Empire will be 5. And then it's kind of like you move everything backwards. Power will be 5. Excuse me, Empire will be 5. Wire would be 4, and then so on and so forth from there.
Yeah. I got Talk Trends that says, "How do you find talent? Spence, Norman Jr., great eye for talent."
Man, Lou Mazzarana, like again, God rest his soul, Jerry Belmonte's manager. It was my senior year in college, 2009, and Lou Mazzarana was like, "Yeah, man, like, do you know Errol Spence Jr.?" It's like, no, no clue who he is. And he's like, "How you gonna be from Dallas and you not know Errol Spence Jr.? He's gonna be the next best thing in the sport." And back then, Facebook was a thing. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get in contact with somebody, Facebook. So I found Errol on Facebook and I reached out to him like, "Yo, man, I'm a senior in college, but I'm from Dallas, you know what I'm saying? I heard about you, just want to let you know who I am and maybe we could link in the future." And he responded back like, "Yo, like, good luck in college, man. Keep doing your thing." And I'm saying we'll link. And we end up getting cool, you know what I'm saying, after that. So it wasn't me going out and looking for him. I got somebody gave me a pointer towards him, and that was that. And then with Brian, Carl Moretti, I got to give Carl credit. We knew we were building a company and that was going to be based out of Georgia. So Carl was like, "Bro, there's a kid that we've been hearing about from Georgia." So it was on me to go get him. Like, and I always talk about recruiting. It's like, yeah, you may can see the talent, but you have to go in and build a relationship with the parents and get them to know who you are and what you can do for their family and for the fighter. And then you have to build a relationship with the fighter. And that shit is it's not as easy as a lot of people think, especially when you're doing it blind, just walking into somebody's crib or place of business. It's a trip, but it's fun, man. I love it.
James in San Antonio, Texas says, "What's your thoughts on Turkey Atlas Sheik's involvement in boxing thus far and long term?"
I think it's dope. I think anybody getting into the sport, man, from a promoter standpoint, matchmaker standpoint, manager standpoint, I think it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully it's a long term thing, and hopefully it provides. I heard Lou DiBella talking about this. Want to give him his credit for what he said. Hopefully, it creates that middle class in boxing to where fighters can actually make a living in the sport as UFC fighters do. You know, guys may have losses or whatever it may be, but they keep coming back, and the purses may not be huge, but it's not just for the one percenters, like the Floyd Mayweathers or Canelos of the sport. Like the pay scale is kind of broken down. So I think what he's doing is great. I think that they took a lot of pages from what Al Heyman and the PBC what they did. I think it's a lot of, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. You kind of watch a regime before you, and you see what they do, and you look at the mistakes they made, and then you take that like, okay, now I know how we're going to design our company or our thing, and we're going to do it similar to them, but we're going to have our own take or trace on it. I don't believe Al Heyman gets the credit that he deserves. I feel like uh, the hue could be a certain thing. 'Cause I feel like when I was a part of that regime, not PBC, but I was manager back before PBC even started. And I remember being told by one of their guys something big was coming, pause, and to just get ready, you know what I'm saying, be prepared or maybe even join up with them. But what they did with boxing, that PBC regime, man, for about a decade or so, like they held boxing hostage, bro. In somewhat of a good way. Now I will say there was some shit that I did not like about it, especially not dealing with management or not looking to negotiate. But you can pick that out with so many different companies. So to answer the question, I love that the Saudis and Turkey Al Sheikh are in the sport of boxing, and they're giving opportunities essentially to everyone. But I hope that it's on the longevity situation, and that everybody can make some money from this, especially the fighters. But I want it to be done. I hope that it's done a certain way to where the managers still get the respect to negotiate on behalf of their clients, and they build good relationships with the matchmakers, whether it's at, I don't know the name of their company or what it's going to be, but I hope the revolving door relationship is there for managers with their clients.
Last one is from Jerry Soriano that says, Mr. Clark, happy Tuesday to you. I was the one that commentated on the disappointment in your choice of attire for a press conference pertaining to your profession. Treat business like business. Your competition is always watching. A little constructive criticism. Best of luck to you.
Oh, hey man, I appreciate that. And I have accounted for it, but um, I I'm not. I'll wear a suit. I think I wore a suit to I wore a tuxedo to Spence Crawford, Giovanni Cabrera, and Pitbull Cruz. I wore a suit to that, but I'm really not a suit and tie type of guy. I've sold two companies wearing t-shirt and jeans, bro. So I've heard it before. My mom is on me all the time, like, bro, like you wearing a t-shirt to a press conference. I get it all the time, but for me, nobody's sought me out or looked to buy my appearance. So what you're saying is right, absolutely right. You know, appearance matters and the perception matters. However, the reputation that I've built, people want they want the creative shit. They want what's in my head, whether it's the books or the companies that I built or the ability to build companies. They could give a damn how I dress or how I look. But respect to what you're saying. Like I said, I've been hearing it from different people, like my mom and my brother, who's the associate head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Johnny Bryant. Shout out to my guy. He tells me, what I'm saying, you need to, I'm saying, suit and tie it up. But I'm damn near 40 years old, man. And like I said, I've had some success wearing t-shirt, jeans, and some Jordans. I'm not saying I'm never going to change, but I'm good. I appreciate you, though.
Last one, Toledo Trees. What would you do with Jared Anderson? And what are your thoughts on Brian Norman crossing the pond to fight Josh Taylor?
Um, Out of respect for the big homie, out of respect for the big homie Jay Prince, I'm not gonna speak on what I would do with Jared Anderson. Good luck to homie. I'm saying all the things that he may be going through in life. I think he just had a kid. Congratulations on that, but I'm not gonna speak on what he should or shouldn't do out of respect for the big homie. But also crossing the pond to fight Josh Taylor. Yeah, I call Brian Norman now the international assassin. It's like his name is the assassin, but I'm like, bro, once we get done with this journey that we on, they're gonna call you the international assassin because we're going to take advantage of fighting in different countries. It ain't just going to be you an American based fighter that you only fights in America. There's a lot of world out there. There's Africa, there's Australia. Shit, if they got fights in Antarctica, we want to see it, especially if they got a 47 that that can bang. So I love the idea of fighting Josh Taylor in another country, but international assassin is going to be it's going to be a thing, man. So we're excited.
My last one. I know you got protect yourself at all times. Then you created fighters first. You got the boxing certificate. Any of that give you percentages? Does it tell the fighter, the potential manager what percentage they should be charging? And are people still charging 25%?
No, people are still, but you have to understand this, and fighters need to understand this. It's a negotiation. Everything in boxing is negotiable, bro. It ain't just either you take this or nothing at all. If somebody's giving you a take it or leave it situation, shit, leave that shit where it's at. Everything is negotiable. There is no governing body over the sport like there is in basketball. When I was certified in basketball, I didn't have any clients. I was 23 years old doing that shit. I didn't have any clients, but going to those seminars and those symposiums and understanding what it was to be a sports agent and how the NBPA, the National Basketball Players Association, how they regulated all the agents. We could not charge the players more than 4%. If we were not licensed, then we couldn't negotiate contracts. The players couldn't negotiate all the way down to like 1% or whatever it may be. That was different negotiation tactics that the players had like privy to. But then also the agents did have benefits. Like if I negotiated a contract for a player, but then he fired me, I still get paid off of that contract. So if it was if it was an $80 million deal over the 5 years,
Wow.
I still get paid for that 5 years off of that deal. But then once he gets a new deal that's worth $200 million, I don't get paid off of that. His new agent
Yeah.
does. So there's things that I learned that I think that both in boxing fighters and managers should implement. I think it's a great idea for managers if you negotiate a deal for them to be with a top rank and they're going to be there for 5 years or whatever. The fighter should still have the right to fire your ass if you're not doing your job. However, they can get another manager, but that manager does not get paid off of the deal that you negotiated. You should still be able to get paid off of the deal that you negotiated, even though you're not negotiating those set fights or
Damn,
whatever
so
it may be.
you got some fine print that says, I got you a 5-year deal with Top Rank, but if you fire me, I'm still getting paid for my 5 years.
Yeah, and just comparing it to how it is in the NBA world, like that's how it is. But also in the NBA world, like your ass can get fired. There is no signing a guy like, okay, I manage you for 3 years with extensions, and you cannot fire me no matter how unhappy you are, bro. In the NBA, you got to do everything. NFL, all those, you have to do everything to keep your fighter, your client happy because they can let your ass go at any time. It's not like that in boxing. Like the managers are comfortable because they know I got paperwork on you where you can't get rid of me. But I do feel like certain times, the managers do, bro. They bust their ass to get guys a deal, and then it's like they get the deal, and then the fighter knows that the fights are coming up, and it's like, I don't want to be with you anymore, or whatever it may be, and then it's like it's blurry. It's blurry from there, but yeah, I feel like this: if you're gonna accept money from the manager up front, then the percentage is going to go up. So if you're going to accept a stipend or a monthly or whatever, you got to expect the manager to look for a bigger percentage moving forward. I think we
Should it
probably
say in
charge.
the contract when that stops? Like, yo, when you pay back, like, how long does that 25%?
Again, all of that is negotiable. And that's why it's important. Like Gustavo said, it's good to have an attorney that does not have a dog in the fight to be there in regards to negotiation because certain things like that, a fighter or their family, they're not gonna know to be like, okay, well, after this is paid back, the percentage drops down to 10% or whatever it may be. The fighter's not gonna be thinking that far off or whatever. So it's important to have somebody that knows boxing, that's on the legal side that can help you with the negotiations, but everything is negotiable when it comes to fighter manager relationships.
Do you know of any managers that exist that still buying houses for their fighters and like
No,
taking it
no,
on a percentage? Like,
no, no. I don't know that part. I don't know. I don't dig that deep into what like another manager is doing. But there is, especially a top fighter. You're not gonna get them for nothing essentially. So there's gonna have to be an investment, is what some guys call it or whatever, or you showing that you got some skin in the game financially. But it's negotiable. It doesn't have to be. I literally watched Jarrell Big Baby Miller when he was with Jay Prince. They sat at the kitchen table and negotiated the percentage or whatever. It's just the point of view speaking up um, and negotiating your percentage of what you're going to pay this dude, but also understanding what the set duties are. That's really important for a fighter to understand. Okay, you're going to manage me. All right, you negotiate the contract or try to get me signed with a promoter, but what are your other set duties? If you're expecting that man or that woman to seek sponsorships and shit like that, that needs to be in the paperwork a part of their set duties. If you're actually expecting that, if you don't want the manager to seek sponsorships for you and you're going to have someone else do that, then if it's in their contract that they get a percentage of marketing deals, endorsements, and shit like that, you need to have them sever that from the contract. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just, okay, you're going to take 15% and then you're going to negotiate contracts for me. Great deal. Like, no, it's a lot more to it than that. But you got to know your paperwork and you got to get an understanding of what the set duties are for the manager that you're hiring.
damn. Sounds deep. That was the last one though, man. Did we touch on everything?
Man, I think we all good, bro. It's all good. It's always
Uh,
good sitting down with you, man, to talk business. Usually we're on the phone talking about shit,
yeah.
but we get on here and it's a little bit more serious.
Nah, I
Hey,
appreciate
hey,
it.
yo, hey,
The
I'm gonna look at
education
this.
is always needed.
Bro, I don't know why people. I got people going in. I think boxing scene did a article, and there's people in the comments like going in like, oh, yeah, of course a manager would create a course. It's a scam. It's a ripoff. But I'm like, bro, there's literally nothing out here to help out aspiring managers. So I was like, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just leave it like it is and just hope that people figure it out? Let's cross our fingers that they get into the business at a young age and not fuck up somebody's career. Like I mismanaged Jerry Belmontes and I mismanaged James De La Rosa. Like we may have gotten paid and James fought on HBO, Jerry fought for a world title. I still mismanaged both of those guys, bro, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Had I had a course like this back then, I could have hit the ground running. Like I did a lot of fucking tumbling, like literally coming out of college. All right, this guy wants me to represent him. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but like let me just try this. I hit the ground tumbling, bro. And I was tumbling the entire time I was representing Jerry. It's just my work ethic and then the relationships that I happened to fucking develop with people helped me get him moving and fighting on TV and got him to a world title, but he was still mismanaged. There was no reason why Jerry had fucking 10 losses in his career. That shit falls on me. Even though he still has to throw in the ring, I didn't see that damn like Jerry don't I need to make him sit down for a little bit to find his like fire, his hunger. I kept the motherfucker fighting. I kept getting fights for him, not realizing that he was going through other shit outside of the ring. Managers have to see that. So I mismanaged two guys early in my 20s. I could have been like relieved of that by having some type of course, which there was no course back then, or having something or someone to help me. So I'm doing something I promised to myself years ago, man, that if I ever got to a point to where I had the money and I had the name, that I was gonna provide something and create something to help aspiring managers learn this business and know it. So when they get into it, they ain't fucking tumbling. They hit the ground running, man. And that's where it's at. But I still get people, oh, this is a rip off. And it's like, bro, you need to take the fucking course. How you it's a rip off. Like I got other managers that negotiated fights, world title fights, that's saying like, yo, this shit is legit and AC is legit, but I got people blindly is like, oh, this shit is trash. And it's like it comes with it, but we need younger managers. We need younger creative managers that's going to help push this shit forward. Jay Prince can't do this forever. Frank Espinosa can't do it forever. I think he's grooming his kids essentially. We need more younger managers, and I think that it's somebody out there, bro, that's in the likes of me that can help take this shit to another level, man. And I hope they take that course.
And it's only $300.
Yeah, only $300 to invest in yourself. I'll be real about that shit. If you can't, especially this business, so much money flow through boxing. If you can't make $300 back, if you can't make $300 back off of the fighters that you'll be representing, brother, yeah, you don't need to be that. You need to just stick to being a what they call it, a fanager. You need to just stick to that shit. Like, don't get in it if you ain't got the hustle in you. Like, if you ain't got the creativeness in you, if you can get on this, like, I see the comments and shit. I can't see them right now, but like I look at the comments and everybody has an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got something to say
Yeah, I
and shit.
see.
I'm like, oh, but you can make money from like the shit, the thoughts that you have getting on the managerial side, but I know that anybody in those comment sections, you get in it, you got a manager, you got a fighter that you believe in, that you believe can be great. A lot of shit that you be saying about, oh, somebody's either ducking or, oh, you should just take this. Your whole perception of the shit gonna change once you start managing a fighter because you see the bigger picture, but then also the belief in your client helps you really, really change your mindset. So I challenge your people, man, your network to get in on this shit, man, and test your nuts in this shit. Come be a manager, bro, where you really can talk your shit and make money at the same time.
And the course is only 46 minutes.
Oh, it's a crash course, bro. Like, but I go into details. Like, I think people think that, oh, you need to be in class for 2 hours or whatever it may be to really get this shit, bro. Boxing management is difficult because the sport is like the wild, wild west. But in regards to what we do on a daily basis and what you do with the relationships that you have, man, this shit ain't fucking rocket science. So I don't need a course that's gonna take you a week to get through to understand this shit. There's just different things with negotiations, building relationships, recruiting that I go through in a matter of whether it's 3 to 5 minutes per round. If you don't understand that shit, how I break it down, then again, you just should not be a part of it. But this ain't something that even when I was applying to be an NBA sports agent back then, we didn't have to take a test on the collective bargaining agreement. They really just tested your credentials. Who have you negotiated contracts for? Who do you know in the business? They certified based off of that. So based off of my ability to negotiate contracts for Belmontes, and then I was living with the NBA player CJ Miles. That kind of gave me the green light to get certified, but it wasn't. Oh, we need to take him through this 2 week long process. Like, nah, bro, it wasn't that. Now it's a lot different. But even with my course, like you got to take quizzes at the end of the rounds. You don't just get the knowledge and then you just move on based off. Like, no, bro, you still got to take a quiz to make sure that you retain what you just heard to move on to the next round. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
comprehension, man.
yeah, man. But again, I challenge your people, man, to get into it and come join me on
But
this
to run
journey, man.
down, it teaches the course content is boxer manager agreements, uh, managerial percentages, promoter relationships, negotiations, fighter relationships, and industry challenges. Am I missing anything?
I think there's a little bit more. Was that just 15 things you said, or was that shorter? Because I
Shorter for
believe
sure.
yeah,
Shorter for sure.
it's definitely
No,
more.
I see that it says it's 15 videos.
Yeah, I break it down over rounds, it's like 15 rounds.
Okay.
So it's me breaking down either different scenarios or kind of just giving an overview of what you need to look forward to or what you need to know going into a situation. Again, it's shit that you can't find anywhere else. It's shit I wish I had when I was first starting off.
It says here managers typically earn up to 25%. Is that still normal?
Man, listen, shit. There's probably still some cats out there that sign contracts where they manage to get paid 33%.
Lord.
Like that's still a thing. I don't know why people think that that's it's like the breakdown I gave, and I still get flack off of the video I did, the last interview I did with you, and I was going through the breakdown. I'm like, bro, like anybody thinks that this shit is like cool, like y'all are crazy. Like boxers, y'all got to pay like hard percentages, and then like you compare it to other sports, and it's like, bro, like LeBron James ain't paying his agent 33% of his contract, but you think it's cool for you who not making LeBron James money to give up 33% of your shit, like that don't make logical sense. But some people still sign them contracts, man. So it's still a thing. That's
Well, they can find the course on Boxing
teachable.
Manager.
Yeah,
Go
but it's
ahead.
teachable.com. And teachable.com is a site that you can go to, man. There's millions of courses on there. So I wanted to go with a platform that was educational based, that was credible. I just didn't want to put out a boxing manager platform and people are like, bro, I ain't trying to put my credit card number into this. But teachable.com is a credible site. It has a lot of educational courses that you can take. That's where you get the course from. And yeah, man, it's dope.
All right, champ. Well, thank you for coming on, Adrien. Appreciate you.
My brother, bro, always good seeing you, family.
Likewise. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fighters First Management, Adrien Clark. $300 for the course, man. 46 minutes, 15 videos, and get that information you need. There's a lot of us out here. Treese, you out here matchmaking. You swear you could do better for Albert Bell, man. Get yourself in position, man. Get yourself in position. Moose. I only owe you like a minute, Moose.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna, be real brief. I ain't have much time left, but shout out to Adrien Clark. Sound like a good brother. Sound like somebody I would like to have in my corner if I was a professional boxer. Uh, but yeah, man, just to finish off what I was saying on the Dr. Sebi thing, Dr. Sebi being from Honduras, like I said, that's the brother that had the biggest impact in my life. And, like I said, the brother had an interview and he said, clean the body out and take that electric food, and who you are is going to come out of you. And I stopped eating for 64 days, no solid food. And on the 63rd night, see, I lasted 64 days and 63 nights. I could have been 64 nights, but on the 63rd night, I was laying down. It was late. It was late at night, and I couldn't breathe. I was like, man, I ain't ate in 64 days. Why can't I breathe? Why is my nose tight? But I was drinking that orange juice from the store, so it made my nose tight. And then I had some elderberry juice in the refrigerator. I took one sip of that elderberry juice and my nose opened wide, like I took cocaine. And I was like, man. So, and the elderberry, that's the electric food. That's the natural food. I took that right before breaking my fast. I ended up eating a vegan pizza right after that. But shortly after that, like I said, I got my own perspective on life. I'm aware of what love is, and I have my connection to my father. So I appreciate Dr. Sebi for that. So yeah, man, that's all I got, man. Shout out TBV.
All right. Shout out Moose. If you're watching this on YouTube or X Spaces, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. Putting this episode in the eyes of boxing fans that don't know we rocking out every day, multiple times per day. Juno. Let's see here. Lake County, $5. Lisa, Left Eye Lopez was Honduran. She died spreading Dr. Sebi word and work. Not a coincidence at all. Polo Buck, member for 9 months on the contender level. Salute. He said, yo, James and Tim got put to the curb. Who's Tim? Oh, Tim. Damn, that's right. Yeah, motherfuckers losing their women out here, bro. Chico, $5. So Top Rank did not counter. Norman Senior lied. No, bro. Negotiations with the manager, they countered. He literally,
Richard Steele stops the
he literally
fight.
said that they started at 750 and got to 1.7. So he gained 950,000. He didn't need Top Rank to counter. They countered. The manager accepts. Chad in Canada, $2. Interesting and revealing interview, Ness. Thanks. Man, thank you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for rocking out with TBV. I was gonna go to the media workout for Chiron, but bro, I'm feeling fucking like shit. My head is killing me right now. Hold on, what's going on? What's going on? Let me make sure I got the air ting. Looks like I did. That's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. We right back at it, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully. Jonathan Sims says, good job with WBO and need more of that. Appreciate you, champ. Appreciate you. Listen, man, we just trying to, get y'all the best, bruv. Best. We had the president on, and then we had Adrien Clark on. We out.